tomorrow evening. The first two teams obviously going forward straight away, and then a race-off between the third and fourth places, and then of course Speedway of Nations 2. The under-21 boys get their moment in the limelight on Friday. Of course, the world champions crowned that night, and the grand final itself, the big final on Saturday night here in Vojens, with Denmark being the host. They're already seeded through. So Chris, a smashing week of Speedway to look forward to.
Yeah, it's a week of Speedway that I always look forward to. It really is a great festival of Speedway with some top nations, some top riders, and a mixture of one or two youngsters in the teams this year as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We've got the Australians there on track as they make their way round. We will have a look at the format for you. There are some subtle changes to what you normally hate. We've got 21 qualifying races tonight. The first two teams, the top two teams, will go straight into the finals, as you can see. And then we've got the extra heat, Heat 22 for third and fourth. And the winner of that race will join the top two teams to join Denmark in the final on Saturday evening. And it will be a cut and thrust, I'm sure, all throughout the week. There are people here, of course, and a lot of expectations. There's no doubt Poland here tonight will be one of the favourites. We do have a change to the point scoring here in Team Speedway. We have 4 points for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third place, and nothing for coming fourth. And Chris, it's going to be vital for teams to actually try not to come in fourth place if you want to progress.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you want a heat advantage in every race that you go out in, and obviously it's more beneficial to finish second and third. So yeah, it does bring the team ethos into the event, and team managers choosing gate positions for their riders. So yeah, there's a lot more to it.
There is indeed, and we look forward to it very much indeed. We've got riders out on the centre green. We are about to be introduced to the Gladiators here this evening. That's the trophy they're all racing for, the OV Funding Trophy. And it will be, of course, hard-earned on Saturday night. We have Germany coming forward now, and representing Germany this evening, we have Kai Huckenbeck, Norik Bladorn, and a late change for the Germans in Michael Hartl, and Pepe Rudolph is the team manager. Chris?
Yes, absolutely, and you know, good solid-looking team. I think they've got a great chance of making it through at least to the qualifying race tonight in third or fourth place.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I've got to say that they've got plenty of experience in their team, particularly with Kai Huckenbeck. Norik Bladorn is a rider that's coming on. Now we've got one of the big heavy hitters. They've come so very close in this competition on numerous occasions. They just came away with silver last year. We've got Rafael Dobrocki, we've got Bartosz Szmarslik, Maciej Janowski and Patrick Dudak. That is some lineup.
It is, and they will be so desperate for a gold medal. They've had 3 silver medals in the last Speedway of Nations, and they are a top Speedway nation that really deserve a gold medal. We'll be looking for it over this week.
They are indeed. They'll be desperate to win, there's no doubt about that, but there's always a weight of expectations on the Polish riders, that's for sure. Will it be their year in 2022? Now we see the American team coming forward, led by Steve Evans, the team manager. We've got Luke Becker, Brock Nickel and Dimmel Rummel riding for the Americans here this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask for the young American team. They're quite an understated bunch, actually. Very professional riders. Luke Becker, Brock Nickel, slightly more experienced than Dylan Rummel. But no, a great team. Quite different to the teams that we're used to racing against in the 80s and 90s. But nonetheless, we'll be looking for that qualifying spot.
They will indeed, and they're going to have to put their best foot forward this evening. There's no question about that. But can they replicate the glories of past years? Here we see the Latvian team coming forward now. Vladimir Rybnikov's the team manager, who's well known to many. Francis Gust, Yevgenis Kostikovs and Oleg Mihailovs they are representing their country this evening.
Yeah, Francis Gust came so close to winning the opening round of the SGP2 series in Prague earlier in the year, and he'll be mixing it, I think, with the faster guys here this weekend.
Yeah, he's a good-looking rider, and there's no question they've got quite a star in young Francis Gust, and there's no question that he has a big future in the sport. The Finnish team now coming forward. We've got Peter Janssen, the team manager for the Finns. We've got plenty of experience. Timo Lahti Timmy Salonen, the under-21 rider, who's looking good, and Jesse Mustonen as well. I think they're going to have to produce something a bit special tonight to progress. Yeah,
they are. Timo Lahti, definitely the experienced rider of the bunch. He's had plenty of racing in the UK, actually, for Eastbourne back in his earlier part of his career, but Timmy Salonen definitely getting noticed around the world.
He is indeed a rider that is beginning to make his name known to a lot of them. But now we see Australia coming forward. Another favourite, of course, to qualify this evening. We've got Mark Lemon leading the way. He's the team manager. We've got Jason Doyle, the former world champion, Max Frick, and Jack Holder representing Australia tonight. And I've got to say that this team will be very ambitious this week.
Yeah, and very competitive. It's an all Grand Prix lineup. Plenty of experience there. They've actually done more Speedway of Nations meetings than any other team lining up in this year's competition.
They have indeed. So not racing in their homeland, of course. They've always had to go through the qualifiers. They've never been seeded to a final. And now finally we have the Ukrainian team coming forward. Great to see riders and representation from Ukraine in difficult times for them. We have Vasil Melenchuk, the team manager, Marko Levishin, Stanislav Melenchuk, and Vitaly Lisak representing Ukraine here this evening.
Yeah, as you rightly say, Kelvin, it's just great to see them here. It's been a real struggle for the guys to be here tonight, and they are going to want to put their best foot forward, and good luck to them.
A big hard welcome.
So the Ukrainian team, delighted to see them here this evening and competing at the very highest level. It will be a special occasion for them, I'm sure. So now we have all the teams introduced, and we will now have the Danish national anthem.
Please stand up for the host, the national anthem of Denmark.
So not too much longer now before we will be on with the action and heat number one, and the riders will make their way back into the pits with their team managers. And Chris, tonight team managers do have a large role to play, because we do have a different set of rules here where when you're nominated gates 1 and 3 or 2 and 4, you can switch your riders around, and that can play quite a big part in the outcome of the meeting. It's a tactical issue that the team managers will be very much part and parcel of.
Yeah, they will be part and parcel of that, and obviously it comes down to the two riders in the race to determine as well, have their input and determine what they want to do. But yeah, the team managers, I think in general, will probably leave it to those guys to decide what's best for them. But you know, if they think that they're making a mistake, of course they'll interject and change things around. At the end of the day, they will have the last say. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic to this particular event.
It is indeed, and as I say, I reiterate, it's 4 points for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third, and nothing for coming last, of course. And that means that if you finish second and third, that will beat a win, so heat advantages will be paramount tonight. I do remember that the Russian team actually won the first 3 stagings of the Speedway of Nations, and they actually put their riders out in a particular order every time. I remember Laguta and Saifutinov in particular. Laguta had the inside start all the time, and they stuck with that, and it was it worked for them. It really did.
Yeah, it did, and you know, they obviously got used to that. It's something that, as riders, they decided that it would work for them. They stuck with it, as you say, and you know, it bore the fruit. But I've got to say, Poland, since the Speedway of Nations format changed back in 2018, haven't managed to win one, but they were so successful in the 5-man World Team Cup or Speedway World Cup format. So what's changed for them? Is it the fact that, you know, they could find 5 competitors riders, perhaps more so than the other nations? Is it the team riding aspect that wasn't there in the Speedway World Cup? It's a different format.
It is a different format. I do believe that there are stronger teams as pairs. Obviously, there's tremendous strength in depth with Poland, isn't there? And, of course, with just a pair of riders, there's some more opposition for the Polish teams, but they've come awfully close. As you say, 3 silver medals. That will be dramatically very frustrating for the Polish teams when they've become so accustomed to winning gold medals in team format. But riders now just clambering onto their bikes. We've got heat number 1 not too far away, where we see Germany up against Poland. We've got Bartosz Marzlik and Maciej Janowski going to represent their country here. And as far as we're aware, there are no changes for heat number 1 with Kai Hülkenberg and Norik Bludorn. They'll have gates 1 and 3. Be interesting to see which way round they choose. Poland will go from gates 2 and 4 in the white and yellow helmet colours. Again, they can choose which way round they want to go, whether they start on the inside or the outside. Probably we won't know that until they actually approach the tape, so you'll have to bear with us a touch just to confirm that as we settle down before the green light comes on. Hülkenberg, of course, a rider now actually has had plenty of Grand Prix experience, and he's a good performer at the highest level, so interesting to see how he goes tonight. So this is heat number 1 for you. Then you've got Kai Hülkenberg and Norik Bludorn representing Germany, and you've got Bartosz Marzlik and Maciej Janowski for Poland in heat number 1.
Yeah, pressure on the Polish team. They will come into tonight, I think, along with Australia as favourites for semi-final 1, but coming out in heat 1. Which way round would you put them, Kelvin, in terms of
I'd actually put Janowski off the inside, and I'd have Schmarzlik coming from gate number 3, but Rafael Dubrocki may have other ideas. I just sense that Maciej Janowski needs a confidence-boosting start. Inside gate may just prove to be the best one in the opening race. They practice, of course, here at 12 o'clock for an hour. They've all had experience of riding the track earlier today. That all went off very smoothly, no dramas, nobody got hurt, so we're all delighted about that, and everybody is fit and present and raring to go. So talking about that, I'm now just going to trip myself up because Michael Hartl is here actually for the Germans, because Eric Riss unfortunately has broken his ankle and is going to have an operation very soon, and that has ruled him out. And that's a shame for Eric Riss, because he was actually just coming into some fine form. So Norik Bludorn will be carrying the burden, but Norik Bludorn is a young German rider that certainly is impressing plenty around Europe. There's no question about that. So riders out on track, Chris, for the opening race, and Poland, who a lot of people feel it's their time. They do believe that their gold medal will be theirs. Of course, they've got to get through this evening unscathed, but there's no doubt that they are the favourites for semi-final number 1 in the Speedway of Nations.
Yeah, and it looks like, I think you're absolutely right, it looks like Bartosz Marzlik, the way he was just riding up, looking at gate 4. Nope. As I say that, Maciej Janowski makes his way to gate 4.
So I've got that completely wrong.
You've got that completely wrong. But I have to say I was with you, Kelvin. I was putting Schmarzlik off the outside, but there we go. But off the inside gate is indeed Kai Hülkenberg, and they're putting Norik Bludorn off gate 3.
They are indeed. So the line-up for heat number 1 then will be Kai Hülkenberg off the inside in red. We've got Bartosz Marzlik coming out of gate 2 in white, and then we've got Norik Bludorn in blue going from gate number 3, and Maciej Janowski will go from the outside in heat number 1 in the yellow helmet colour off gate number 4. It's a long way from gate number 4, particularly early on, so pressure on Janowski to do something a little bit extra and possibly to get across there, and he's digging around.
Yeah, I wonder if Rafael Dubrocki, the Polish team manager's thinking was that Schmarzlik maybe making a better start could clamp down on Kai Hülkenberg and give Janowski a chance of a run around the outside.
Yeah, good thinking that. As I say, tactics come into this. It's different from the World Cup, of course, because there was only one representative. You rode actually as an individual. Speedway of Nations, you ride as a pair. You've got to look for each other. There's got to be an understanding between you. There's no question about that. So here we go. First race of the Speedway of Nations. Semi-final number 1 in Vojens. The tapes are up and we're away. Hülkenberg's made a good start, but Janowski right there along alongside him. Smarslik back in third place. Bladorn's packed up at the back. But wow, that's a terrific start from Kai Hülkenberg. Hugging the inside through that third and fourth corner. Completes the first lap comfortably out in front. But that's 4 points. Well, you've got to remember, it's 5 points for second and third, so not a disastrous start for the Poles, but a super getaway for Kai Hülkenberg.
Yeah, as it stands, a heat advantage for Poland, which is what they will have wanted. I think maybe they would have been expecting more, but as you say, a super start for Hülkenberg off the inside. Sounds like Norik Bladorn's dropped the chain. I heard the bike rev up, so I think maybe a primary chain or a rear chain. But, you know, this track is going to take a little while to settle down. It is going to be a little bit slick. The track's got 4 meetings in 4 days. A lot of work for the track staff.
Kai Hülkenberg riding an exemplary line out in front. I've got to say, he's shown terrific speed, and he wins the first race of the Speedway of Nations in fine style. That was a terrific effort from him. Janowski coming through in second place with Smarslik in third. I agree with you, Chris. I think the Poles would have been looking for a touch more there. But that start from the inside from Kai Hülkenberg was dynamite, and he gets off to a flying start here.
He does, and he wasn't too concerned about lining up next door to Bartosz Smarslik, the current Grand Prix leader.
He wasn't, and there's no question that he didn't feel the nerves at all, and the result, of course, is 5 points to Poland for second and third, and 4 points to Germany. So as I say, running last in a race or an engine failure or mechanical issues can cost dearly in this format. So the team riding ethic there coming to the fore. We see it again.
See it again from the start. Hülkenberg off the inside gave really good start. In fact, Janowski made a pretty good effort from the outside, and there we can see Norik Bladorn just stopping very suddenly. So to me, almost certainly a chain. But Kai Hülkenberg, as you said, Kelvin, during the race, rode a great line around the inside, just generating enough speed. And in the early heats here, particularly at Vojens, very difficult to get round the outside of anybody. Janowski gave it his absolute best effort in the first turn. But once the race settled down, Kai Hülkenberg carrying plenty of speed.
He did indeed. So riders up for tapes for heat number 2 already. And it looks like we've got America here up against Latvia. So just looking down there, it's looking like Luke Becker was going to go from gate number 3 with Brock Nickel off the inside in blue. And then for Latvia, looks like we've got Francis Gusts. Not quite sure what gate he's going off. Looks like he's going to go off for gate number 2. And we've got a change here with Oleg Mihalyovs coming in here for Kostikovs. Looks like he's going to go from gate number 4. So they obviously wanted to give their number 3 rider a run out straight from the get-go.
Yeah, it's an interesting race, this, pitting the USA and Latvia together straight away, because they're 2 teams that will be very keen to qualify in 3rd or 4th for that qualifying race.
Yeah, that's got to be their target. You're dead right. So every race vital, and this is a race in their opening gambit where they'll try and get a heat advantage as they can. I saw Luke Becker ride on Monday back in the UK. He was in fine form there. Here we go then, settling down for heat number 2. Green lights on, tapes are up, and away we go. Terrific start from Nickel off the inside. I've got to say that Mihalyovs is there also round the outside. Oh, Gustas slammed into the side of Becker, but Becker comes out on top, and it's America out in front. Brock Nichols sharp away from the inside. Luke Becker joining him, and it's looking good. And that's 7 points if they can hang on out in front. America dominating heat number 2 as at this early stage. Super start from Brock Nichols.
Yeah, great start from Brock Nichols. Sensible ride on the first lap. Also from Luke Becker, just settling down, riding behind his teammate. He realises the attack is most likely to come from the inside. And Mihalyovs there getting very close to the back wheel of Luke Becker. Actually, the 2 Latvians just tripping over each other at the back. One of them needs a chance to go clear and have a go.
No, they're not doing themselves any favours at all, and it's just giving a little bit of breathing space for the 2 Americans out in front. One last corner to go, and Brock Nickel out in front, riding a real tight line. Becker riding sensibly behind him, and the ideal start for America. 7 big World Championship points there. Super stuff, sharp away from the tapes, dominating the heat. And I must say that very impressive. got to say that the Latvians were quite untidy.
Mihalyovs was really giving that one a go.
Yeah, and Francis Gus really didn't know which way to go, in truth. But nonetheless, it was an outstanding start for America, and that really will settle them down very nicely indeed.
It will do. those 7 big points against Latvia, another team that would have been vying for that 3rd and 4th spot, as I say, assuming that Poland and Australia will go clear at the top.
So 7 points for America, 1st and 2nd, the first maximum score of the evening, and 2 points for Latvia, with Mihailiovs coming through in 3rd place and Francis Gust just missing out that time. Just seeing the boys back in the pits. Of course, we've got the pit cams in here. You can tune in and look at your favourite team if you wish. And no problems there. And we'll just see this again because it was a terrific start from Nickel again off that inside.
Yeah, Brock Nickel really got it to work on the way to the corner, made a great reaction. At this point, Luke Becker's got a little bit to do. He's got Francis Gus on the inside, giving him a nudge, getting pretty close there, wants to find a way through up the inside, and it's that run down the back straight on the first lap, particularly here at Vojens. It's crucial to make an early decision, know whether you're going for a run around the outside, which won't work at the moment, or that quick cut back, and he made the right choice, tucked in tight behind his teammate Brock Nickel on the first lap here, and they didn't look back. 7 big points for USA.
So heat number 3 then, and up at tapes we've got Finland and Australia here. We've got Finland going off gates 1 and 3 with Timo Lahti off the inside gate, and Timmy Salonen will go from gate number 3 in blue, and then in gate number 2 looks like we've got Jason Doyle, the former world champion, going out of there in the white helmet colour, and off the outside this time will be Jack Holder. There's a change here, it's not Max Frick. Jack Holder will go from the outside in yellow in heat number 3 for Australia. And Australia here tonight, certainly one of the favourites to be in the top 2 to go through to the final. To, of course, Jason Doyle, vastly experienced. So is Timo Lahti.
Yeah, he's been in fine form this year.
He has. He's been piling on the points for his clubs on the continent. There's no question about that. And Timmy Salonen is another rider that we saw in the Speedway.
Yeah, lively character.
He is indeed. Here we go then. Heat number 3, away we go. Doyle's missed the start completely, and Finland have made a great start. Salonen hits the front. Timo Lahti right alongside him. Jack Holder trying to get round the outside of Lahti. Jason Doyle made a poor start there and has got work to do. Here comes Holder. Holder, terrific round turns 3 and 4. Roaring up behind Salonen into 2nd place. Lahti now beginning to respond up the inside. Wheels in line for Jack Holder. Holder looking for a way through. Round the outside. Salonen has a look over his right shoulder, but Holder, brilliant ride from Jack Holder.
Really smart first couple of laps from Jack Holder. Didn't panic. Didn't run out wide, he just kept it down low as he could, but just found that drive on the outside and rounded both of the Finnish riders up. A brilliant ride from him. It's strange to see Jason struggling at the back, really not finding the traction out there. You've got to think maybe the bike's spinning up a little bit for him.
Yeah, into the final corner then. Excellent ride from Jack Holder, but a bit of a disappointment. One last gasp from Jason Doyle, but fails to score, and that's a disappointment for one of the pre-meeting favourites. No question about that, because Finland coming out on top there with 5 points for 2nd and 3rd, and Salonen really sharp away from gate 3. Got to give him a lot of credit. Great effort from Holder to come through from 3rd to 1st, but nonetheless, Finland certainly not fancied to go straight through tonight, and that was an excellent start from them.
It was against a good Australian side, 3 Grand Prix riders in their side, and Jack Holder really saved the day for them there. It was a fantastic opening couple of laps from him.
It was indeed, and Jack Holder, a last-minute change there, and 5 points to Finland. Timmy Salonen riding superbly well. Timo Lahti back in 3rd place. The winner, of course, was Jack Holder, picks up the 4 points, and Jason Doyle, after a poor start, really did struggle to make an impact.
Yeah, he started to make a little bit of ground up in the last lap or so, but a strange race for Jason, just couldn't find any traction that looked to me, even off the start there, but not for Timmy Salonen. Great start there in blue. And at this point, you've got to say it looks like it's going to be tough for the Australians, but Jack Holder had other ideas. He just kept working that dirt line that's just beginning to produce there mid-track. Didn't go any further than he needed to go, really chasing back wheels, but a great ride from him. Didn't panic at all, just kept on their shoulders, on their right shoulders, finding that little bit of extra traction, bike working well. Manages to round both the Finnish riders up. Important 4 points for the Australians in that race.
Yeah, absolutely could have been a 7-2 at one stage. Certainly was looking on the cards, but Jack Holder coming in at the last-minute change, certainly coming up trumps for Australia. We've got heat number 4 here, and it's the 2nd outing for the Germans. They'll go off gates 2 and 4, and we've got Hülkenberg off 2, and Norik Bladorn will go from gate number 4. And it's the first ride for the Ukraines here, with Marko Levishin will go from the inside, and Stanislav Milenchuk will go from gate number 3. And you've got to believe that the Germans will have a slight advantage with having some track action already in the opening race.
Yeah, they should have. It settled them down. It's a decent race for Kai Hülkenberg.
Here we go then, heat number 4, tapes are up, and Hülkenberg was jet propelled out of gate number 2. Bladorn is trying to get there alongside him, but you've got to say that's a super first corner from Levishin. Milenchuk is out the back. Hülkenberg absolutely jet propelled out of the start. Got to say in here now, Bladorn has come through into second place with Levishin just running far too wide coming out of turn number 4, and the Germans are red hot here this evening.
Yeah, they are. Levishin just letting the bike run far too far. The dirt line out there not working good enough. Norik Bladorn with the sense to just cut back. He's now just covering the inside line. I think he's doing the right thing. Once again, Kai Hülkenberg really looking quick out front.
Yeah, he is indeed. As I said before the meeting started, he's got plenty of experience at this level now. And he's demonstrating that in fine style. He's really started sharp here this evening with 2 impeccable starts. And Bladorn, the youngster, no problems with his equipment this time. And it's going to be a big 7 points for Germany. Terrific effort from them. Ukraine just coming up short that time. And Germany, that's an outstanding performance from them. Hülkenberg and Bladorn really combining very nicely indeed.
Yeah, they did indeed. 11 points is a decent start from 2 rides for Germany. And Kai Hülkenberg definitely looking so composed out front. He's not making any mistakes. He's making fantastic starts.
Yeah, it was really sharp away from gate number 2, no doubt about that. He replicated what he did in the opening race off gate number 1. And, of course, this time with Bladorn not having any issues. So the result then, Germany pick up the first maximum of the evening with 7 points, with Hülkenberg winning, with Bladorn back in second place. Levishin coming through in third, picks up 2 points, and Milenchuk just missing out. But for Germany, that's a very handy 7 points at this early stage.
It is a very handy 7 points. And, you know, there's a few teams here with the pressure of making that qualifying heat. I mean, Australia obviously didn't do them any favours in their first ride.
So we can see the standings after the first 4 races. 11 points for Germany, but they've raced twice. USA on 7, super stuff from them. Poland on 5, Finland 5, Australia 4, Latvia 2, and Ukraine 2. And we will be on with heat number 5 not too far away. Oh yeah, super stuff from Germany. Bladorn a little frustrated after his first ride, but bouncing back in fine style here. And I've got to say that I've seen him ride quite often in the UK, and is beginning to really find his feet in British Speedway. And on the evidence of this ride, he looks very comfortable here in Vojens.
He does, and he's backed up by a great rider in Norik Bladorn, learning so much, riding in the UK for Bellevue and learning all the time. And it was a sensible ride from him there as Levishin just ran wide, and Bladorn with the sense just to cut back. A comfortable ride for him in the end, but Levishin was giving it everything he had.
He was, but as you say, he made that mistake sort of early on in the race, and it cost him. But there's no doubt that he will learn from that, and they'll regroup, and we will see them out in heat number 7. So let's head down to the pits now, where we've got Abby Stevens, and she's joined by Tony Rickardson.
Calvin, thank you. I am joined by Tony, a legend of the sport, 6-time world champion, but also an ambassador for this new era of Speedway that we're seeing at Discovery Sport events. Okay, it's the first time that Speedway of Nations has been hosted here in Vojens, but it's not a stranger to host big meetings on the world stage. Many of them you competed in, many of them you won. So what's your memory of racing here?
No, it's always been really well organized competitions here, and everything from open meeting to World Championship rounds has been going here. So it's with great satisfaction I was seeing the Vojens Speedway Center sign when I came back here.
Nice. And in terms of the difference between even a World Cup, where you're still riding as an individual, Speedway of Nations very much geared towards team riding. How does that change how you approach things?
Well, it's obviously much more important to look for your teammate. In my days, we used to call the pairs wall final. And it was the same thing there. The point scoring system are a little bit different here, so it's even more important that you are not finishing last or have you or your teammate ending up in 4th position. So everything is to go for, and really important to catch the 2nd and 3rd places. And of course, if you can get a 1st and 2nd, then we have a really good point advantage.
How do you see this going this evening? Who do you think are the teams that are going to make it through to the final?
I don't know. I just have to say I love this competition, how it's set up, and with so many other nations that you maybe don't see that often, it makes it really, really interesting to see a lot of different characters of riders.
Tony, thank you for chatting to us. Enjoy this festival of Speedway.
I sure will. Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, great to see Tony here, of course, and he had many a great night here, won his first World Championship here, of course, and had some wonderful nights of racing here in Vojens, and as ambassador for Discovery Sports Events, there's no doubt. So he will be enjoying the week. We've got heat number 6 not too far away, and we've got Poland coming out here, and we've got some changes as well. So okay. We have some changes for Latvia. Mihaliovs will come in for Kostigovs again. So they're obviously going to continue on in that vein. And I wonder why that is. Maybe Kostigov's not feeling 100%, or just feel that he's out of form a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, Mihaliovs, he got that 3rd place ahead of Francis, because they were tripping over each other, to be fair. I think if Francis gets himself a little bit of clear air, I think he will be very, very competitive. But yeah, he had a decent start when he took Kostigov's place. So yeah, I'm assuming it was just his performance.
Yeah, it has to be. Poland out here, and they will be just smarting a little bit for dropping points in their opening ride. Plenty of time to go, of course, and they'll be certainly firm favourites to pick up a maximum score here. That's what they'll be looking for, with Matej Janowski and Bartosz Marslik there, preparing themselves for their 2nd ride of the evening. And I've got to say that certainly Francis Gust for Latvia was probably a touch frustrated. His teammate actually didn't do him any favours, really, did he?
He made life difficult.
Yeah, he did.
Sure.
And Gust was terrific in the SGP2 round, opening round in Prague, and I've got to say he came awfully close to winning there, finished 2nd on the night, and looks like a rider that's got a big future.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely got a good future. And as you say, he did look frustrated in that race, but as a team manager, I think you're going to want those riders out there competing for you that really, really want it. And there's no question that in the opening race for them that Mihaliovs definitely wanted it.
He did indeed, and we've got America up at tapes already, and Luke Becker is going to go from the gate number 2 position. So we've got Bartosz Marslik in red going from the inside gate. Luke Becker will go from gate number 2 in white. Matej Janowski will come out of gate number 3 in blue, and Brotnickel will go, the fast-starting Brotnickel, he will actually now go from the outside in yellow, so no changes there. In actual fact, that is a mistake. We were told that it was going to be Latvia coming out here, but it's not. Actually, that's not correct on the programme there, so we will apologise for that, but it's America up at tapes here. So, as I say, America starting with 7 points, and that was a fine start for them, no doubt about that. But they're up against stern opposition here with Poland. And as I say, Poland dropping points in the opening race. They'll be really trying to bounce back now. They'll be looking for maximum points.
Yeah, they will. I was talking to Steve Evans, the American team manager, earlier today, and he said that that a lot of their focus was on making sure that they qualify for the Speedway World Cup next year, which means that as long as Poland are in the top 4, then that's what USA need to do. But obviously their main focus tonight will be to make that qualifying heat and then win that.
Absolutely right, and they started in fine style, so here we go then. Heat number 5. Oh, Bartosz Marslik, he was nervous on the start there. Red light is on straight away.
Do you know what, I'd like to see that again, because I think, although there was movement, I don't think it came from Luke Becker, and I think he just made a cracking start.
Yeah, and Alexander Leotysinski from Ukraine is the referee here, and he's put the red light on pretty sharply there. There's no question that Bartosz Marslik was just a little bit impatient on the inside gate. Not quite sure why. Maybe the weight of expectation and the fact that they are red-hot favourites tonight is just weighing heavily on them a little bit. See it again, Chris, here now.
Yeah, there was definitely movement, and I think it's, Bartosz took a step, but to be fair to Luke Becker, I mean, he just made an absolute cracking start, but of course, the referee would have been looking. I mean, it was a lightning reaction. It really was.
And his chain adjuster's coming off as well.
Yeah, so he's probably done himself a favour, actually, or the referee's done him a favour bringing that one back.
Yeah, he has indeed. But there's no question that Bartosz Marslik was a bit nervy on the start there. I've got to say that Poland do take Team Speedway very seriously indeed. They've won World Cups for fun. They haven't won the Speedway of Nations. We're hearing it's actually a warning for the rider in white here, so that's it's going to be...
That's Luke Becker, but I mean, I find that very, very strange, because all he did was react to the tapes very well.
I disagree with the referee there. I think he's made a mistake, and that's a shame, because that's rather tough on Luke Becker. As you rightly say, he made a smashing start and has been penalised for it, when actually the guy that should have had a warning should have been Bartosz Marslik, who was actually a bit twitchy on the start line. So, second time of asking. I'll go through the line once again. We've got Marslik on the inside in red, Luke Becker in gate number 2 in white, Maciej Janowski out of gate number 3 in blue, and off the outside is Brotnickel in yellow. And they're just going to have to settle down now. I think Poland need to get a 7-point haul here in this race to really settle themselves down. Maciej Janowski very close to the start marshal. Start marshal not particularly happy with that, so he lets it go now. Green lights on. Takes her up, and Bartosz Marslik doesn't miss second time. He's made a smashing start there. Becker's in the thick of the action in the first corner. Here comes Janowski round the outside of Becker, but Becker's right there. It's nip and tuck as they go into turn 3. And Janowski slams the door shut and comes through into second place. Brotnickel is out the back. But this time, second time of asking, Chris, Marslik made no mistake.
No, and Janowski obviously rounding up Luke Becker. Luke Becker kept him honest down the back straight, certainly didn't back out of the challenge. Janowski's pulled clear now, running in just on the edge of the dirt there. He's just moving out wide. Luke Becker electing to go around the inside, but the Polish lads would have started this race as favourites and doing the job.
They are indeed. America, of course, picked up 7 points in their first outing. It's looking like it's going to be a 2-point haul this time, but for Poland, the meeting favourite, certainly coming through in flying style here. Becker's been fast in third place, but there's no question the World Championship leader in 2022, representing his country, wins in fine style this time. Bartosz Marslik out in front. Super effort from him. Janowski coming through nicely in second place. 7 points for Poland this time, and 2 points for America. Disappointment for Brotnickel, but to be in, I think when they're looking at the programme, Chris, they wouldn't have been looking, America wouldn't have been looking at that particular race. They're probably thinking it's some of the lesser nations that they need to pick up the points against.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would have felt that they did their job perfectly in their opening ride against Latvia, taking maximum points, and facing Poland was always going to be a tough task. 7
big points for Poland then. Marslik out in front, Janowski in second place, Luke Becker comes in third, just 2 points for America this time, Brotnickel, but they're still on to 9 points, which is a handy return after 2 races. Patrick Dudek having to be a touch patient because he hasn't had a ride, but we'll see it again.
Yeah, off the inside, Marslik there, not so impatient that time, just reacted to the tapes, crept around the inside. Luke Becker at this point looks like he could actually get the better of Janowski, but Janowski just sitting back on the bike, wheels in line, good throttle control, manages to find enough traction just to get down over the top of Luke Becker, and pretty much the race was over from there. But a great effort from Luke Becker. Brotnickel just struggling at the back, but another heat advantage for Poland, and that's what you need to do throughout this meeting if you want to certainly make the top 2.
Indeed you do.
Janowski taking a well-earned drink there and talking tactics with Bartosz Marslik. Team just talking to him about the bike setup.
I'm sure he is. Just relaying some information, useful information. We've got heat number 6 here. With Latvia up against Finland, and Finland were pretty good first time out. No doubt Timo Lahti going from gate number 2, and Timi Salonen, starting Timo Salonen going from gate number 4. Latvia have changed again. Mihaliovs is coming in here, and it'll be Francis Gus who will be going, I believe, from the inside gate in... No, it's not actually. It's Mihaliovs going from the inside in blue, and Gus will go from gate number 3 in red. So can they come up? This is a race where these two nations will be looking for big points, that's for sure, no doubt about that. So green lights on, heat number 7, away we go. It's a good start from the inside once again from Mihaliovs. He's made a good fist of it there, and he hits the first turn, but here comes Salonen around the outside. Terrific effort from him, and Timi Salonen has hit the front. Terrific ride from him. Francis Gus is back in 3rd place with Timo Lahti out the back, but Timi Salonen, he's had a terrific first lap of Speedway there. Great first turn, got these wheels in line, and he's powering away out in front.
Yeah, we can see just why he's attracting so much interest from around the world. Promotions, team managers around the world watching him keenly, and he is a very accomplished rider for his age, doing a great job in Gorjov under 24 team, and well, stretching a lead out here, using the grip right up by the fence going into the corner. Not something that I was particularly pleased to do, but it's working well for him out front.
It is indeed. Timi Salonen actually stealing a march in the opposition here, but 4 points to Finland, but it'll be 5, of course, for Latvia. If Timo Lahti had one big last push around that last corner, it's going to get tight on the right line. Lahti's got there. Brilliant ride there, and a great result, of course. For Finland, they pick up 6 points as a consequence. So it's the first 6-3 of the evening. So Finland going great guns there. And a great effort for Lahti when it was looking like it was going to be a 4-5. And they've turned the tables on that final run to the line.
Yeah, great ride from Timo Lahti, using all of his experience there on the last turn. But great to see Timi Salonen, young man in the SGP2, winning that one.
So Timi Salonen out in front, super ride from him. Timo Lahti, 6 points. That was a great effort on the run to the line, and Mihaliovs coming through in 3rd place in the end. And Francis Gus has actually had a poor starter tonight and has failed to score so far. But for Finland, that really is an added bonus, and a great effort there right at the death of the race.
Yeah, I think they would have thought that they were going to see the bulk of their points coming from Timo Lahti. He spent a lot of the race there at the back. You can just see the first turn. Timi Salonen makes a really good fist of it, getting the bike to ride, to find the traction down the back straight. And at that point, he's just going to the front there. And Finland really do look quite consistent so far. Just keep picking up the points, heat advantages, and that's all they need to do.
Absolutely right. And it's looking good for them after that particular race, there's no question about that. So heat number 7, where we've got Australia up against Ukraine, and I believe that Jack Holder, yes, Jack Holder is still in here, and he will replace Jason Doyle. And it's the first opportunity to see Max Frick, who will go out of the gate number 2 in the yellow helmet colour, and you've got Jack Holder going from the outside start in white. And then for Ukraine, in the red helmet colour, we've got Marko Levishin, and we've got Vitali Lisek, I believe, who will go out of gate number 3. First time we see Lisek tonight. A change for Ukraine in their second outing. I think it's wise to actually give riders an opportunity to get used to the track and get their nerves out of the way, isn't it? You know, it's settle them down. They don't want to be just standing around just looking on the action. Yeah,
very hard for a rider to come in and do a good job for a team if the rest of the riders have had plenty of races and he comes in later in the programme. It's very tough to be on the sidelines.
It is indeed, and Patrick Dudek, I'm fully expecting to see him later on this evening for Poland, that's for sure. So green lights on and away we go, and Max Frick has made a good start alongside Levishin, but Levishin's there, and Jack Holder once again chopping to the inside from the outside, but it's Levishin out in front. Terrific ride from him so far. He's got the Aussie boys coming at him from the inside and the outside. Look at Frick go! Brilliant effort from Frick. Powered off of turn number 4, swept round the opposition, and he's got himself to the front. His first ride of the night, of course, and he'll be delighted with that. Jack Holder, though, keep your eyes on Jack Holder. He's now beginning to really work hard in 3rd place. race, looking for a way through, trying to join his teammate in second place, but Leverson in second place is holding firm.
Yeah, great ride from Leverson. He's using all of the track. He's had a look on the dirt line. He's gone around the inside. He's now just picking up the grip, leaving the corner. He knows he's got to cover every attack from Jack Holder. And I've got to say, Jack Holder's thrown everything at this race, but he's really not making up too much ground. Plenty of grip, but not a lot of ground, unfortunately, for him. But Max Frick, great opening lap.
Super ride from Max Frick out in front. First ride of the night. Wins it in style. Australia pick up 6 points there with Jack Holder back in third place and Leverson picking up the 3 points in second, so a good effort from him. But Australia picking up 6, that's a handy heat advantage. Possibly we're looking for 7, but they'll have to settle for 6. But encouraging signs for Australia with Max Frick coming in and riding very well in his opening ride. The result then is 6 points for Australia with Frick and Holder. And then we've got Ukraine on 3 points there with the second place from Marko Leverson. And that means that Australia now move on to 10 points and Ukraine are on to 5 points in total. But that's exactly what Mark Lemon would have been looking for from Max Frick, wouldn't it? He's changed his team around. He dropped Jason Doyle out after a poor first ride, and Max Frick's come in and done the business.
Yeah, Max, you know, a great ride from him there. He looks like he's actually out of it here. He's gone very, very wide, but he's got his wheels in line. He's generated plenty of speed. You can see there Jack Holder having a look over his shoulder, realises he's going to have to make the cutback. Looks like he's going to get up the inside here, but very impressed with Marko Leverson. It was a great ride from him. You can see there he's all action. His left leg's off, his right leg's off, looking for every little bit of traction he can find. But Max Frick just keeps the wheels in line, goes for the wide line, just uses the dirt line, picks up plenty of speed. But Leverson does a great job to stay in second place, and super ride from him.
Indeed it was. He showed a lot of determination there, so we're rapidly on with the action here. We're up to heat number 8 with Germany up against America here, and this time we've got Kai Hülkenberg going out of gate number 3. So on the inside in blue is Noik Bladorn. We've got alongside him in yellow is Brock Nickel in gate number 2. Gate number 3 is Kai Hülkenberg in red, and gate number 4 will be Luke Becker. So America, who have had a heat advantage and then lost out against the Polish team last time. But I've got to say, on the evidence of their second ride, Germany look really quite sharp here tonight. Disappointing for Bladorn in his first ride with some bike issues in the first corner, but responded and bounced back really nicely to ride very strongly in their second outing. So Germany are looking good. America also not out of this. This is a tense affair here in heat number 8.
It is, yeah, in the context of the race for qualification. This is a big one.
It is indeed. Green lights on, tapes are up and away we go. Gotta say, it's a smashing start from Brock Nickel out of gate number 2. He fires himself to the front in that first turn, but he's under pressure. Here comes Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg and Brock Nickel, but Hülkenberg powers into the bottom corner. Coming out of turn number 4, and Hülkenberg is really riding hard.
Bladorn.
And Bladorn up the inside as well. Nickel's gone down. Hard charging. Don't think there was any contact there, but it was a harsh move there. He's going to get the bike off the track. It's going to get tired, but the race continues, and it's out in front. Germany all of a sudden looking really good here. Potentially with a 7-point haul with Luke Becker back in third place.
Yeah, Brock Nickel reluctantly taking his bike off the track. I think he was looking for perhaps a restart, give Luke Becker, his teammate, a chance of making a better start. But for Germany, this is just what they needed. Once again, Kai Hülkenberg out front, and Brock Nickel did lead him for a while. I think it's probably the first time that Kai has been led in this meeting so far, but great result for Germany.
Superb result for Germany, their second 7-point haul of the evening, and Germany really are looking good after the disappointment of the first race. Joy in the camp, German fans here, of course. Vojens not too far away from the German border, and Germany are putting it to the opposition here. They're going to put plenty of pressure on the opposition, and after 3 races they move on to 18 points. That really is a terrific return for them. So 7 points for Germany. First is Kai Hülkenberg, second is Noik Bladorn, riding well, the youngster, I must say, and Luke Becker coming through in third place, and Brock Nickel biting the dust as the race came towards its conclusion, so he'll have to dust himself down. But I've got to say, Kai Hülkenberg has been absolutely red hot tonight. So the standings after 8 races then. Germany out in front, but they've raced 3 times, but 7 points in their last 2 outings. Terrific. 12 for Poland. 11 for the USA, Finland on 11, Australia on 10, and Latvia on 5. So, and also Ukraine on 5. So, beginning to take shape now, but we'll see heat 8 just again. But Germany are looking good here. Yeah,
Kai Hülkenberg in particular looking the real deal, making pretty good starts and plenty of speed. But here he's headed by Brock Nickel down the back straight. Great start again from Brock. But using the dirt there on the outside, Kai Hülkenberg just generates that speed, gets himself across. And here we see, I think, Brock Nickel coming down, comes under attack there from Norik Blordorn. You know, he rode under him hard, but there was a gap there, and I think it was just a case of Brock knowing he's going to get out of the way, and he knows his teammate Luke Becker is currently running in last place. And I think
tight,
it was
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tight. I think it was a conscious decision from Brock to go down, give his teammate a chance of a restart, and he soon realised the referee was not keen on that decision.
No.
And eventually, reluctantly, got back up, but I don't blame him for giving it a go.
No, it just didn't quite work out for Brock Nickel that time, but for Germany, it's been terrific. And there's no doubt that they are looking very strong indeed. And we can get some more reaction now with Abby. And the man of the moment, Kai Hülkenberg, is with Abby.
Yes, Kai, what a start to this Speedway of Nations for you. 3 heat wins, and you and Norik just working so well together.
Yeah, Norik found a good setup as well now, and my bike is working perfect tonight. Yeah, it's just all about the start right now. So hopefully we can keep it up.
Did you expect to get two heats with a haul of 7 points?
Not really, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a surprise. So we try our best. There's no pressure on us. So
how is that when you are riding without the pressure? Because it does look like that there's a freedom to your style out there tonight.
Yeah, I always try to be, or try not to put any pressure on myself. So yeah, I just want to have fun, enjoy it, and that's what I need to keep up now.
What have you and Norik said to each other in between heats?
We just changed the gates, so yeah, it worked out. We won, so yeah, we will see how we do it in the next ones.
Keep it going.
Thank you.
Yeah, interesting there to hear from Kai Hülkenberg, just explaining that they've swapped the gates over, and Kai maybe not making quite such a good one off the outside. Be interesting to see what happens in the next one.
It will indeed, and but Kai Hülkenberg is riding extraordinarily well for his country, and very relaxed. He says there's no pressure on him. I think if they keep going like this, the pressure will build, and the expectation of going straight through to the final in the top 2, because Australia are certainly under pressure at this early stage. They've made some changes, and it certainly worked a little bit better, but they haven't had a 7-point haul yet. Time, of course, to come. We are hearing that there will be a change to the Latvian team in heat number 8, which is the next race. I believe that Francis Gust will be replaced. And Francis Gust will be replaced by Mihailiovs here in heat number 9, and Patrick Dudek will be coming in also for Poland, and he will replace Janowski. So the first opportunity for Patrick to get some track action this evening. We did mention that that may well be the case, and Rafael Jabrocki hasn't disappointed, has he, Chris?
No, he hasn't. No, I think he's doing the right thing, as you said, Kelvin. I think it's better to get these riders involved earlier on in the meeting and give them a fair crack of the whip to get involved straight away. But you know, I mean, when you look at that lineup, they're bringing in their reserve along with Bartosz Zmarzlik.
Quite handy, isn't it?
Pretty strong right through.
It is. So we've got the Oleg Mihailiovs and Kostigovs coming out here, and we've got Bartosz Zmarzlik and Patrick Dudek coming out for Poland. Just the last bit of grading to be completed, and then riders will be appearing out on track. And there's no question that Patrick Dudek has returned to form. He's won a Grand Prix this year. Of course, a former world number 2 that slipped out of the Grand Prix and then battled hard to get back into the series. Started the series slowly, but in recent Grand Prix, Chris, he has looked much more like his old self. And I think that win in Tetero has really given him a boost of confidence.
It has, yeah, definitely, just exactly that. His confidence is riding much higher now. We spoke to him earlier on in the series, and he seemed lost. He didn't know which bikes were working. He said a bike would work one week and not the next, and he'd completely lost his way. But as you rightly say, a tough meeting in Tetro, tough track conditions, and he worked everything out very well, rode very well, completely deserved that victory.
Even though he was a touch uncomfortable.
Yes, he was. There was a reason for that, Kelvin. Well, we won't go into that.
We won't go too much further with that one, but nonetheless, it was a stunning display by Patrick, and it was great to see him riding so very well. As I say, we've still got some grading going on here. The track's riding fairly slick, but no real surprise there with so much track action this week, Chris. 4 consecutive nights plus practice. There's going to be plenty of wear and tear on the track, and they are going to have to keep well and truly on top of that. But so far this evening, I must say the track is riding nicely. Yeah,
the track's riding nicely. It's got a job to do for 4 days, so it was always going to be packed in slightly firmer. But, you know, they've only had a couple of weeks since the change of venue announcement to get ready for this. I think they've done a remarkable job, and Jakob Olsen and his team will, I think, give us the goods. The finals, I'm sure we'll see a little bit more dirt generated for then.
We will indeed. I'm sure they'll introduce a little bit of fresh material for Saturday night. Poles out here, and having had a maximum score last time, they'll be trying to pick up another 7 points here. On paper, you've got to believe that they have every chance of doing so. So the lineup for heat number 9 then. We've got the Polish pair of Dudek and Smarslik, and there's a change, I said, to the Latvian lineup with Mihaliov's coming in for Francis Gusts, and he'll go from the inside gate in red, Mihaliov's this time. Bartosz Smarslik is alongside him in white in gate number 2. Gate number 3 is Kostikov's, and that's his first ride of the night for Kostikov's. He'll go out of gate number 3 in blue. And Patrick Dudek, who's doing a bit of a bike change here, which is a touch concerning, but he will be in gate number 4 in yellow for Poland. Just did a practice start on his spare bike, has chosen the original bike, so he's on his way to the tapes now. Yeah,
Rafał Dobruk here, I think, doing exactly the right thing. He's bringing Dudek in early enough in the meeting to give him a go, see how he goes in a race that he would fully expect Dudek to be able to score points in.
Yeah, this is one of those races where you're right. You know, there's no question that Poland are heavy favourites for this one in heat number 9, and they'll be disappointed if they don't pick up 7 points, and the ideal opportunity to blood a fresh rider. And when you can bring in the quality of Patrick Dudek, why not? Indeed, Kostikov's also coming out of gate number 3 in the blue helmet colour for Latvia is his first opportunity. He was actually not ridden so far, so there must have been a plan of action there. Not quite sure why, but now he gets his opportunity. Francis Gust, it's a shame for him. He hasn't quite performed so far this evening. Maybe we'll see better from him later on. But heat number 9 then. Meeting favourite here in Poland, takes her up, and away we go. Bartosz Smarslik's made a smashing start there, and Patrick Dudek there alongside him, but Kostikov's coming up the inside. Kostikov giving the World Championship leader really something to think about down the back straight, but he clamps the door well and truly shut, and here comes Dudek roaring around the outside. And that's what team riding's all about, Chris. That was a superb move from Smarslik. He had eyes in the back of his head there.
Yeah, he knew where Dudek was generating all the speed. The idea with team riding, it's harder to do these days with the bikes as they are, but you've got to let your teammate on the outside get into the corner. If you can allow him the space to just get his nose in front going into the corner, it's so much easier from there. And these boys looking quick out front. I've got to say, Bartosz Smarslik looked almost surprised when the tapes went up, but he didn't half make the bike work to the corner.
He did indeed. And Patrick Dudek there riding high and wide, clearly enjoying his first outing of the evening. Coming through the final corner, and Poland pick up 7 big points, expected of course, but nonetheless a job to be done, and they did it in fine style. Dudek also, Rafał Dobruk will be pleased to see that as well, blooding a fresh rider there in their 3rd outing in heat number 9, coming through in fine style. And Poland move on to 19 points, and that's exactly where they would want to be. That means they move to the top of the table at this stage after 3 rides. So the result from heat number 9 is Poland 7 points, with Patrick Dudek winning from Bartosz Smarslik. And then 2 points for Latvia with Kostikov's, his first ride actually. He picks up 3rd place, and the 2 points for Latvia.
Yeah, a couple of maximum point rides from the Polish team, and bringing out their reserve there, who's already won a Grand Prix this year. Not a bad position to be in. But as I said, Bartosz Marsik did look a little surprised when the tapes went up. He really wasn't ready for that one, but he really got the bike working on the way to the corner. And it was a great ride from him and a great ride from Dudek, who generated all that speed. Kostikov's kept them honest down the back straight for the first half a lap there, and it was nice to see him competing, albeit not for long, but he showed that he's got the speed and he can generate the speed. Looked like at one point there he was going to move current Grand Prix leader Bartosz Marsik out the way, but not to be.
No, not quite that time. Not easy to pass Bartosz Marsik at any time, in truth, but nonetheless, a satisfying result for Poland. We're up to heat number 10, and we've got Finland here against Ukraine, and Timo Lahti goes off the inside in the red helmet colour. Alongside him in white is Marko Levishin. At a gate number 3 in blue is Timi Salonen, who's riding very well tonight. And off gate number 4 in yellow is Stanislav Melanchuk. So, got to say that Finland are looking good. And that pass by Timo Lahti late on in their previous race really was very important indeed to pick up 6 points. So Finland here once again will be looking to build on that. Heat number 10 takes her up, and Lahti's made a smashing start. Salonen's missed it by half a mile, but he's made a terrific switch to the inside. He's neck and neck. He lifts. Oh, tight down the back straight. That gets untidy, that's for sure. Lahti's out in front. He's missed all the forwards because Salonen was certainly very much out of shape. There's no doubt about that, and you've got to say that that could have come really nasty down a bit because Levishin really had to come out of the throttle.
Yeah, Marko Levishin had a real moment there. He's chasing down Timi Salonen. I don't think he was too happy with that move down the back straight, and he's throwing absolutely everything at this. If he gets half a chance, he's definitely going to take it. But Timi Salonen, as you said, his start was about as sharp as a bowling ball in that one.
It was indeed. Into the last lap, and Timo Lahti's pulled well clear. Gotta say, Levishin is working overtime in third place. Here he comes. Timi Salonen, he's nearly running the back of him, Levishin. Levishin now overlocked, just giving a bit of breathing space to Timi Salonen in second place. But Finland coming out on top with another 7-point haul, and that's a terrific effort from them. Gotta say, it was action-packed for second and third throughout the 4 laps. Not sure that Levishin's going to be best pleased with Salonen.
No,
there was no eye contact there whatsoever, was there?
No love lost at all. In fact, he's pulled the banner off down the back straight as they made that move. There was not a lot of room there.
No, there wasn't. They had to breathe in, certainly. It was a little bit untidy from the youngsters down the back straight, but the result of heat number 10, and it goes the way for Finland. 7 massive points for Timo Lahti and Timi Salonen. Terrific effort from them. Marko Levishin, well, he'll be a touch frustrated finishing third. Just 2 points for Ukraine that time. And I've got to say, it was action-packed, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of room down the back straight. We can see there that Timi Salonen makes a terrible start. Lahti's out front, looking good. And just as they go down the straight there was nothing intentional, but Timi Salonen just gets a little bit of unwanted grip, a little bit too much. The bike just drives over to the right-hand side, both legs out, not ideal. And Levishin there really looked like he had every right to go down, and that would have been a big crash. Done extremely well to hang on to it. We can see there.
Oh, my goodness gracious me.
He goes into him, wallops him really hard into the fence. This is where the banner gets ripped off. And I've got to say, Marko Levishin, great effort.
Well, do you think the referee could have done something about that? Because that when you see that back again, I mean, crikey, that was really wild.
We rarely see it from referees, but the referee does have the option to black flag Timi Salonen for that, for dangerous riding, and he could even make a change to the result after the race.
Yeah, it certainly was a hectic moment down the back straight there, and they're having to do some running repairs to the signage down there because, as you rightly say, he ripped it all off as he went down the back straight, and he was very fortunate indeed, Marko Levishin, to stay on board there as Timi Salonen was lifting. It was a really wild moment of Speedway, that's for sure, but they're young and they're going at it hard, that's for sure. So we've got a slight pause before we have heat number 11, where we'll see Germany again, who are going very well. Germany, of course, on 18 points at this stage. Finland going really well as well on 18 points, with Poland out in 19. They lead the way. So heat number 11 shouldn't be too far away from us. We're not hearing that there are any changes to the Australian team here, so I'm presuming that it will be Jason Doyle back in alongside Max Frick this time, with Jack Holder taking the first two rides. So we do believe there will be a change in heat number 12 with Poland, and we will wait for that confirmation. But this is the lineup for heat number 11. Then it is Jason Doyle back in, with Max Frick alongside him with the blue helmet colour. Kai Hülkenberg will be in white, and Norik Bladorn will be in yellow. And as I say, this is a big race for Australia.
High pressure race for Australia. They, you know, looking at the form that we've had from Finland, for sure, Germany, obviously, Poland, not unexpected. But Germany, Finland really putting the pressure on Australia.
They are indeed, and with Germany and Australia going head-to-head here, this is a very important ride here for Australia. They really have got to get their act together and really get some rhythm in this meeting, because they haven't quite managed to do that. Jack Holder's been riding well, but quite clearly Mark Lemon is remaining faithful with Jason Doyle, who's had a poor ride, and he's obviously looking for a confidence-boosting ride from the former world champion this time.
Yeah, watching Jason in his opening ride, heat 3, it was a difficult ride for him. He just didn't seem to have a bike set up that was working for him at all. So I'm assuming here that he's either made quite big changes or he's riding a different bike.
So here we see the lineup then as they make their way towards the start line, and it appears that Max Frick will go from the inside in the blue helmet colour. Kai Hülkenberg will be alongside him in gate number 2 in white. Jason Doyle will come out of gate number 3 in red, and Norik Bladorn will go from the outside in yellow. Germany going very nicely indeed. They are really riding nicely. Kai Hülkenberg has been absolutely red hot tonight. His starting has been exemplary. I mean, he really has made a masterclass of that so far. But this is a tougher ask here, Chris.
Yeah, it is. And the way both the German lads are going, I really don't see Michael Hartel getting a run out tonight, if I'm honest. I think that, you know, with this format now, we used to have the under-21 rider that had to take a ride. We don't have that anymore, and, you know, these two guys are flying. The pressure's on for them. At this stage, they're even looking for automatic qualification, so I think they're just going to keep with this pair.
Yeah, absolutely right. Their ambitions may be changing a wee bit now with a solid start to the evening so far. They lie in second place after 3 outings. This will be their 4th race. Australia have had to be a touch more patient. They're on 10 points after 2, so as we've said before, this is a very important ride here for Australia. Jason Doyle missing the start in his first ride and not really being able to land a blow, didn't seem to be able to generate the pace and the speed he really needed. So this is an opportunity for him to put that right now, coming out of gate number 3. Big showdown here. Here we go, green lights on, tapes are up and away we go. Neck and neck to the first turn, but it's the Aussie boys that show, and Doyle's bounced back nicely here. Kai Hülkenberg pushing hard up the inside there, but Max Frick has held on. It was tight coming out of turn 2. Hülkenberg up the inside. Can he put pressure on Max Frick? Yes, he can. Oh, just about recovering Max Frick. Frick's gone wide again with Hülkenberg round the inside. Hülkenberg really putting pressure to the Australians now, but now all of a sudden Frick has responded. He slammed the door shut. Doyle's out in front. Hülkenberg still coming on strong. Terrific race for 2nd and 3rd.
Max Frick needs eyes in the back of his head, because Kai Hülkenberg has just got a little bit more speed in his bike. Doesn't matter where he rides, inside, outside, he is able to generate that speed. He's gone back to the inside now, and I tell you what, if he gets half an opening, he'll be through it, and if Norik Bladorn could just hang on in there, he could be opening the door for him, but it looks like Max Frick is now just settling down.
He is indeed. One last turn, and this is a massive result for Australia. 7 big points up against a team that have been going so well this evening, and they needed to respond. And Jason Doyle there really showing a lot of character after a disappointing opening ride, coming up with a fine win there. Max Frick having to work awfully hard to beat Kai Hülkenberg, who had won all his 3 outings so far this evening. Germany now moving on to 20 points, but only scoring 2 in that particular race. But 7 huge points, vital points for Australia, moving on to 17, and that's just what the doctor ordered for them. The result then of heat number 11. 7 points for Australia. Jason Doyle and Max Frick out in front. Mick, got to say, Frick rode really nicely there to hold off Kai Hülkenberg, who's been in fine, sparkling form. He finished 3rd, and the youngster Norwick will adorn just missing out. Vital race for Australia.
As you say, Kelvin, 7 vital points against a team that have maxed out twice so far in this meeting. Just watching from the start, it was the Australian pair that pulled clear on the way to the corner. Jason Doyle electing to go high and wide, and Max Frick coming under all sorts of pressure there from Kai Hülkenberg. And see, Kai Hülkenberg just missing the start there. Fair to say the Australian boys both made absolute cracking starts though, and at this point Max Frick just running right up to Jason Doyle. Probably just had to get off the gas a little bit as he did that, allowing Kai Hülkenberg to stick his nose up the inside, which he'd done for a couple of laps. Then Max Frick managed to get over him, and Kai Hülkenberg changed his tactic to the outside, but just not able to make the move on Max Frick, who just shows his experience there. Great ride from the Australians.
Yeah, it was a very important ride indeed, and Kai Hülkenberg drops the first points of the night because he was unbeaten individually up until that point. So here we see heat number 12 then, and we've got a change to the Polish team with Patrick Dudek coming in here for Bartosz Szmalzlik. He'll go off the inside in red. Gate number 2 is representing Finland. In the white helmet colour will be Timo Lahti. Gate number 3 in blue is Matsej Janowski, and off the outside, the all-action Timi Salonen in the yellow helmet colour. A touch fortunate to get away with that move last time, I suggest.
He's entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is indeed. Keep your eyes on him. He's riding nicely.
Box office. That's
box office. Love it. Yeah, absolutely right. But Finland are going nicely here. They're on 18 points coming in. They're in 3rd place at this stage, so they're going really well. But Dudek and Janowski got to come good now. Some of the lesser nations here are doing very well indeed. Here we go then. Heat number 12 takes her up, and away we go. Dudek's made a good start on the inside alongside Timo. Look at Timi Salonen diving through there on the inside. Brilliant first turn from him. Timo Lahti joining his teammate down the back straight with Matsej Janowski out the back, Dudek out in front. But Finland, this is great effort from Finland.
This would be a fantastic result for Finland, getting a heat advantage against the Poles. Got to say, Maciej Janowski carrying plenty of speed, but Timi Salonen, we know he is not going to let him past. He's a little bit erratic. If he could just stop finding that traction, he'd be going forward a bit quicker. But Maciej Janowski really hanging on in there. If he gets half a chance, he's going to be through.
He's going to have to work overtime. They're into the last lap. Dudek on his 2nd ride of the night is looking good out in front. Lahti 2nd, all the action for 3rd. But you've got to say Salonen looking rock solid. One last corner to go for the Finnish rider. And Maciej Janowski's going to miss out. And it's a 5-point haul for the Finnish riders. Dudek clear out in front. But that's a disappointment for Poland and Finland. Wow, this is a surprise. They are riding out of their skins this evening. And once again, Finland now, 23 points. They're equal with Poland. Joint leaders of semi-final number 1 in the Speedway of Nations here in Vojens this evening. Smashing effort from them.
Brilliant effort from Finland. Absolutely cracking stuff. And Timi Salonen once again showing us why there's so much interest around the world teams, because he's a very interesting looking prospect.
He is indeed. So 5 points to Finland. Timo Lahti out in front. Timi Salonen hanging on to 3rd place. Excuse me, 2nd and 3rd for them. So 5 points for them with Dudek and front. The standings then: Finland on 23, Poland join them on 23, Germany on 20, Australia 17, USA 11, Latvia on 7, as is Ukraine. So it's neck and neck at the top 4 there. It really is nip and tuck. So plenty of action still to come. Well, Chris, that was a smashing effort from Finland, and I'll tell you what, not a lot of people talking about Finland pre-meeting, were they? But tell you what, they are now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you know, they're a team at the top of the table right now at this stage of the meeting, and I tell you what, Lahti wasn't actually far off getting ahead of Dudek on the way to the corner, and that could have really made a massive result for Finland. But as it is, a heat advantage over the Poles is a cracking result. And once again, Timi Salonen, we can see there's the Finnish reserve and also their team manager,
delight in the camp. Delight in the camp. Terrific to see.
Great ride from the young man.
And that's what this competition is all about. It's giving some of the smaller nations the opportunity to beat and compete against the best. And Tony Rickardson said it earlier, great to see lots of different riders from different nations, and the Speedway of Nations is certainly proving a success in that regard. So great stuff from them. Now let's get back down to Abby now. She is joined with Bartosz Szmalzlik.
Calvin, thank you. First of all, Bartosz, I want to talk to you about your last heat because it was a real display of team riding between you and Patrick. How important is that in Speedway of Nations?
Oh, the Speedway of Nations so very important, very heats, and yeah, but we spoke with the coach and everyone wants to try the track and setups and everything, and yep, now is everything changing, and look for the future.
In the replay of that last heat, I saw you and your teammates watching the screen there. What were you saying to each other? What were you thinking?
Yeah, but this is history, and we Team Poland looking for the future, and I think so. Then now is everyone making the change setups, and I think so they will be strong again.
Last question then. What is the atmosphere like in the camp? Because there's a lot of pressure on you guys. There's big hopes for you all, but how are you all feeling?
Yeah, Poland always have the pressure, but everyone, I think so, like it, because I'm remember in the winter I miss for this, and yeah, I like.
Bartosz, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to hear from Bartosz Zmarzlik. Not panicking too much, but there's no question that they've just slipped up a couple of times there, and Janowski missing out on points there. Chris, up against Finland, you would have expected a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, very much so, and interesting to hear from Bartosz there. He lives to the buzz, doesn't he? He says he doesn't like it in the winter when he hasn't got that pressure, waking up every day knowing he's got a big meeting in the Polish League or the Speedway Grand Prix or indeed the Speedway of Nations. So, yeah, interesting to hear. One thing we should talk about is a slight quirk in the rule book for this particular event, is that team riding is allowed. Now, that sounds a bizarre thing to say, but of course there is a rule that for the individual stuff that says that you have to race in every race and be giving full effort. So if you back off in the Speedway of Nations to help your teammate, it is acceptable.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's reflect on what we've seen so far with some highlights. That's what we've seen so far after 12 exciting races, and the standings there on the right-hand side of your screen with Finland and Poland neck and neck after 4 outings. Germany doing well on 20. Australia obviously only racing 3 times, but a very valuable 7 points for them last time. USA on 11 and Latvia and Ukraine on 7. Kind of cut adrift now. It's looking unlikely that they're going to really play a major part tonight. Looks like it could be a big shootout between those top 4. But we will wait and see. We've got Heat 13 coming up here, where we will see a change to the American team. We will see Brock Nickel replaced by their number 3 rider, Dylan Rummel. And Dylan Rummel is actually riding for the Oxford Cheetahs back in the UK and doing a fine job for them. And it's great to see that the Cheetahs are back after a 15-year absence. So that's great news. And Rummel is here, and a rider that I'm interested to see, because another rider that is beginning to gain valuable experience riding in Europe.
Yeah, just looking ahead in the programme, Finland top of the table there, and I've got to say 2 reasonable rides to come, Germany and USA. They've got a real chance of automatic qualification here.
Yeah, line up for Heat 13 then is Luke Becker in red, and Dylan Rummel will go in blue. Jason Dorr is in white and Max Frick in yellow. We will see if that remains the same, if there's any last-minute change to that. And just thought for a moment it might have been Jack Holder. It is actually
Yeah,
Jack
I think
Holder.
it is Jack Holder in yellow.
Looks like it's going to be Jack Holder coming in here for Max Frick. So Mark Lemon just ringing the changes at the very final moment. So Jack riding well in his first 2 outings. Jason Doyle certainly looking much more like himself in his second ride.
Yeah, very much so.
And they're a race behind, effectively. So are Latvia and Ukraine. So there's no doubt that Australia on 17 points so far will be looking to get the better of the opposition here. Luke Becker is getting pushed off there. Jason Doyle. Jack Holder coming in here for Max Frick. Here, he will be in the yellow helmet colour. It'll be interesting to see which way round they put them on the start line.
Interesting decision that from Mark Lemon, because obviously Australia hitting 7 big points in their last ride against Germany.
Absolutely, but trying to give riders as much racing time as possible. So on the inside in red is Luke Becker. Alongside him is Jack Holder in the yellow helmet colour in gate number 2. Gate number 3 is the first appearance of Dylan Rummel. He'll be in the blue helmet colour, and on the outside is Jason Doyle in white. And once again, Australia feeling the pressure. Although they got 7 points last time, they've got to keep it rolling, because when you've got performances like Finland are doing, the automatic qualification for the first 2, there's no doubt that they are feeling that, and that's what they want. They won't want to go through that last chance qualifier in heat 22 if they can possibly avoid it. Nobody really wants to do that, particularly if you're one of the pre-meeting favourites.
Yeah, not the way that teams like Germany, Finland, all these guys are doing at the moment.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, have they? They've got everything to gain, and it's proving so. And so far we've witnessed some super speedway, and that's credit to everybody concerned. I must say the last-minute change of venue must have been difficult to get everything sorted out. But so far, so very good. Vojens, of course, the home, the heart of Danish Speedway. They've seen so many great nights here in Vojens. And, of course, the Grand Prix Series will come here in September. And we look forward to that. First of all, we look forward to heat number 13 with Australia up against America. Oh, long pause, and Becker's made a smashing start on the inside for America. Fires himself to the front with Jack Holder on the inside. Coming through with Jason Doyle back in 3rd place, and Rummel out the back. Got to say, that was a superb start from Luke Becker. He's out in front, but look at Jack Holder go. He's winding it on around the outside, freshly prepared track. Got to say, Becker's ridden a nice corner there and maintains a good lead, but keep your eyes on Jack Holder. Holder really firing it now wide in turns 3 and 4, winding it on. Doyle out for the pace this time, but Holder working hard in 2nd place.
Yeah, Holder working very, very hard. He seems to be able to make ground up on turns 3 and 4 using the outside line just here, but he doesn't seem to be able to do it around the 1st and 2nd turn. But I tell you what, Luke Becker, once he's out front on a track like this, he does go very, very quick. He's always going to be difficult to beat once he's out front.
He is indeed, and he's into the last corner for the final time. Super ride from the American out in front, going to pick up 4 points, 5 points for Australia. Slightly disappointing result for Australia. Not disastrous, of course, because they pick up 5 and there's a heat advantage, but I just sense they would have been looking for a touch more. Possibly Max Frick, maybe Max Frick, but Jason Doyle did win last time out. Who'd be a team manager? Luke Becker, though, sharp away from the Tates and wins very nicely indeed. 4 points for America and 5 for Australia, and Australia moving on to 22 now and leapfrog Germany, who are on 22. So the result of heat number 13, 5 points to Australia, with Jack Holder out in front, Jason Doyle back in 3rd, and Luke Becker, excuse me, Jack Holder in 2nd place. I must change that, keep doing that. Jack Holder 2nd with Jason Doyle 3rd, and then we had Luke Becker doing a fine job with a smashing start from the inside.
Yeah, fantastic reaction. Really did react very, very quickly. Definitely the quickest reaction on the start line in that race. Hits the first turn in front, just elects to ride around the inside. We have just had a track grade prior to this race, and he knew that the fastest way round would be the inside. He made Jack Holder work really hard behind him, trying to find a way past it. Looked for a couple of laps like Jack would be able to do it, but unfortunately just couldn't find that extra speed he needed to go the long distance.
And you can see the reaction there with Jack Holder on the bottom of your screen, just having a little bit of dialogue with his crew. Heat number 14 then, the lineup will be Marko Levishin in red, with Vitaly Lisak coming in here for the Ukraine. He'll be in blue with Francis Gus back in the lineup in white, and Yevgenis Kostikovs in yellow for Latvia. So clash of the lesser nations here, but nonetheless I'm sure it'll be very competitive, and everything to race for, that's for sure. But they are just been cut adrift a little bit now, Chris, haven't they? Just on 7 points. You've got to believe that they're kind of racing for a little bit of pride here this time.
Yeah, I think the Latvians, Ukrainians, you're right, they're out for pride.
Oh, open on the start. Will we see a red light come on? No, because he penalised himself. Got to say that was a smashing start on the inside there from the boy in red, and he's fired himself to Levishim once again. Looking good out in front. He's riding very strongly indeed. That's a smashing effort from him. Got to say Kostikov's back in second place this time. Look at Levishim go. He is absolutely flying, and I've got to say there's a terrific battle for third and fourth as well. Gus having to hang on to third place.
Yeah, Gus having to work overtime there on the outside. Has a little look across his left shoulder, but no, he's run wide again, and we can see Lysak just trying to move through, but out front, you're absolutely right. The rider in red there, Levishim, he's had an interesting night. He's been in the thick of the action. He's got a fast-looking style, and in this race, out front, looking good.
Yeah, he's proving to be fast out in front. He's cleared off. He's comfortable. He's through the last corner. He's going to pick up a heat win, but for Latvia, it's 5 points for them. A little bit untidy race at times, but nonetheless, points hard earned. So 5 points to Latvia and 4 points to the Ukraine. But Levishim, I'll tell you what, he's making his mark tonight. Certainly a rider that is all action. He's eye-catching when he's out on track. He had a hairy moment earlier on with Salonen, there's no doubt about that, but he's put that to the back of his mind, hasn't he? Because he came out firing on all cylinders there. Terrific effort. So the result of heat number 14, 5 points for Latvia, second place to Kostikovs, third for Gusts. The winner of the race was Marko Levishim, and he picks up the 4 points with Lysak failing to score that time.
As you rightly say, Marko Levishim has been in the thick of the action at the front, at the back, and even taking the sponsors' banners off the air fence. But yeah, cracking start from him off the inside, and we can see a good first turn there from Kostikovs in yellow, and he has been quite quick in his couple of rises that he's been out there. Francis Gus once again in the thick of the action at the back there, but Lysak keeping him honest for the entire race. But I've got to say, quite impressed with Marko Levishim. He sticks to the task. He's got quite an exciting style, hangs off the bike, and a little bit Patrick Dudek-like.
Absolutely. So I think number 15 then, we've got Germany up against Finland, and Finland and Germany both going great guns, looking for automatic qualification for the final. Of course, we're hearing there's a warning for Kostikovs from the previous race, but on the inside in blue then is Norik Bledorn for Germany. Timo Lahti coming out of gate number 2 in white for Finland. Kai Hülkenberg, who was beaten for the first time previously in his last outing, will come out of gate number 3 in red, and off the outside is Timi Salonen for Finland in the yellow helmet colour. Big clash, this one. Got to say that Finland on 23 points are out in front with Poland, and Germany back on 20 points. So this is huge in the outcome of this event. You've got to believe we're coming to crunch time, and these matchups now, Chris, I'll tell you what, if you can get a heat advantage over the opposition now, it could be vital to make that top 2.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and Germany could be left to rue that 2 points they scored against Australia. Tough race for them, and Finland could put themselves in a comfortable position here.
Here we go then, heat number 15, and Timo Lahti from Finland's made a superb start there. Salonen's gone down there, tough first corner alongside Kai Hülkenberg. And the red lights come on, and it'll be interesting to see what the referee Leo Tosinski does there, because he was leaning all over Kai Hülkenberg, and I just feel that he may get excluded for that one.
He could well do. I mean, the referee did put the lights on quite quickly, so it'll be interesting to see what decision he makes. We'll need to see the replay to see if it was a conscious decision from Timi Salonen to get off his bike there.
He was trying to come across, wasn't he? But Kai Hülkenberg was there, and he probably had to come out of the throttle. Maybe youthful exuberance. They're just getting the better of Timi Salonen.
Yeah, he comes across, as you rightly say, he hasn't got clear. Difficult to say from that angle. Probably see much more from this one as to whether there's actually any contact or not. If there is contact, there's a classic case of all four back, and gets the referee out of jail. Hasn't really, yeah, there's contact there. Not a lot, but I think enough to give all
four back, you reckon?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, well, we wait for the referee to make his decision. Look at that start from Timo Lahti. He'll be gutted. He'll be gutted that he doesn't quite get away with that, because no doubt when you make a start like that for a rider, just see a little bit of a brush there from Kai Hülkenberg. So you'd like to see that Timi Salonen will be put back in the rerun. I think that... Yeah, we're having it confirmed now. It will be a restart with all four. Timi Salonen's bike will just be pushed back to the pits, and any running repairs will be dealt with. The running repairs to the safety fence once again, and there'll be just the signage will just be put back straight. But Timi Salonen won't rush back, because he'll want to give his crew as long as possible to get that bike.
I think he might be getting an invoice from the organisers for the amount of banner damage going on. I mean, he didn't actually take the previous one off.
Just on a serious note, Timi Salonen, he's a rider that's really... we saw him in the SGP2 ride Grand Prix in Prague. He rode well there. And I've got to say, he's doing a fine job here also this evening. And it's good to see these youngsters coming through from different nations. Finland don't produce that many Speedway riders, but Salonen looks like he's got a good future. Yeah, he has. He's competitive even at this tender age. And, as you say, he had a decent meeting. I think he finished 5th. He's a little bit harem-scarum at times, but you can forgive him when he's a youngster and inexperienced. What I like to see, he's a born racer, isn't he? He's got that determination about him, and if you've got that in your DNA, then there's no doubt that the rest of it will, the rough edges will be just smoothed off in time. But not sure what Timo Lahti would make of him, because he's actually quite a different rider. He's quite relaxed, quite placid. Not known for his all-action style, but he's matured well. He's riding well in the various leagues. Yeah, he has matured very well, and so thank you very much. We are hearing there's going to be a couple of changes in Heat 16, and we'll bring that to you very shortly, while we're waiting for Timi Salonen's bike to be repaired, and Phil Morris will then give him the suitable amount of time. The race director, Phil Morris, will then determine exactly when the referee will put 2 minutes on for them to get back up to tape. So we're hearing that Dudek will be back in for Poland, and we'll see Max Frick coming back in for Jason Doyle for Australia. And Heat 16 is actually a clash of the heavyweights, so we look forward to that. But Finland have got a job to do here, and there's no question about that, and they'll be pleased to have 2 riders that are going well back in the rerun, Chris, because as I say, they are leading on 23 points, and this is getting to a point where all of a sudden possibly nerves may get the better of them, because their expectations wouldn't have been great, but no doubt the opportunity to be in the first 2 and not go through Heat 22, the last chance qualifier, it's got to be a carrot that they want to try and chase. Yeah, and confidence is a precious thing, and they've got plenty of that at the moment. And I think you used the word earlier, exuberance. I did, yeah. With Timi Salonen. So, if Timo Lahti can just bring his experience and calm the young fella down, and I'm sure the team manager too will be working on that as well, just to keep him together, scoring solid points, topping the charts. And, well, wouldn't it be great if they went straight through? Yeah, it would be a surprise, but nonetheless, it would be a pleasant one at that. So the riders are back up at tapes for the second time of asking. We've got Bladorn from Germany in blue going from the inside gate. Timo Lahti from Finland going from gate number 2 in white. Kai Hülkenberg from Germany coming out of gate number 3 in red. And off the outside, it's Timi Salonen, the all-action Timi Salonen from Finland in the yellow helmet colour. All 4 riders back up at tapes. That's what we want to see. We want to see 4 riders in a race, that's for sure. This is a big race, of course, with Germany and Finland going very nicely. Germany could do with a heat advantage. They're on 20 points, so an opportunity for them to force their way into the top 2 if they can get 6 points. That would be very useful indeed. You know, and it's more than possible because Hülkenberg and Bledorn going nicely. But you've got to say, on the evidence of the first start, Timo Lahti was very sharp away.
Lahti was very sharp. Yeah, great cracking start from him. If he can produce anything like that again and get over Norik Bledorn, then it's all going to be down to young Timmy Sallinen to see what he can do. Be interesting. First turn this time, he didn't get away with trying to lean on Kai Hülkenberg. I would suggest he won't get away with it this time either.
Here we go then, second time of asking, and away we go. And Timo Lahti's made another superb start, and Timmy Sallinen, Sallinen from the outside, but Bledorn holds second place. Sallinen now charging up into third place. Keep your eyes on Kai Hülkenberg going high and wide in turns 3 and 4, but Sallinen slams the door shut as they complete the first race. Bledorn is in second. Timmy Sallinen third, but Timo Lahti out in front, and Kai Hülkenberg has got work to do.
That was a great third and fourth turn on the first lap from Timmy Sallinen. Really used his head, realised he'd got to go across Hülkenberg, couldn't give him a clean run. Now,
how on earth did Hülkenberg stay on there?
He done a fantastic job to miss Timmy Sallinen there.
He did indeed, but that's put pay to their chances of getting a heat advantage. 6 points on the cards here for Finland, and Finland are having a fantastic night at Speedway. Lahti out in front, down the back straight for the last time. Bledorn second place, Timmy Sallinen in third. Lahti picks up the win, 4 points for him. Bledorn back in second, 3. But what a massive result for Finland. 6 points. They're going to move on to 29 points, and Finland are meaning business tonight. It's a surprise, it's a shock, but wow, they're doing the business out there.
Brilliant result from Finland, and another cracking start there from Timo Lahti, but great ride from Timmy Sallinen. Really had to use his head on the first lap because it could have easily have got stuck down on the inside behind Norik Bledorn, allowing Kai Hülkenberg a clean run past, but he didn't do that.
He didn't quite do that, but Finland pick up 6 points. Lahti winning the race, Timmy Sallinen a fine third place there for him. Norik Bledorn back in second place, and Kai Hülkenberg, who started so strongly, failing to score there, and that was a crucial race for these two nations, and Finland came out on top.
Yeah, brilliant first lap from Timmy Sallinen. We can see Timo Lahti there just making a great start, pulling clear. And at this point here, you can see Timmy Sallinen, he decides to cover the inside going down the back straight. And when he enters turn 3, he could have easily got pinned down on the inside of Norik Bledorn, allowing his teammate to come around the outside. But he has the presence of mind just to move across. We can see this is his decision now to move back to the inside. This is where he decides he's got to cover that run on the opening lap. Does a brilliant job, and then, of course, there's the big mistake from Kai Hülkenberg just here. Gets plenty of traction, actually handles that very quickly and very well not to collect Timmy Sallinen there.
Yeah, good ride there from him, no question about it. So heat 16 then is up at tapes, and this is a clash of the heavyweights, just 1 point between the two teams. Poland on 23, Australia on 22. And with Finland going so very well indeed, and Germany also hanging in there, this is another massive race, and this semi-final number 1 is throwing up some surprises, and the tension is rising. There's no question about that. We've got Jack Holder on the inside in the red helmet colour for Australia. Alongside him for Poland in white, in gate number 2 is Bartosz Zmarzlik. Max Frick is back out here in the blue helmet colour in gate number 3, and Patrick Dudek will go from the outside in yellow. And Chris, this is really coming to a point in the meeting where if you want to qualify through to the final, you're really going to have to strut your stuff now.
Yeah, points mean prizes, and it's no surprise to see Patrick Dudek coming back out again. He's had a couple of opportunities so far. He's taken them with both hands. Looked very impressive out front last time.
Did indeed. Heat 16 then, the green light comes on now. Tapes up, oh, long pause, very long pause. Oh, there's argy-bargy to the first corner, but it's Australia that show first. Certainly Holder on the inside with Max Frick on the outside. Zmarzlik was trying to force his way through the Australian pair as they went roaring towards the first corner, but Australia out in front. Zmarzlik trying to hunt them down. This is big, really big for Australia if they can hang on with Dudek at the back, but Australia doing a fine job at this stage.
Oh, that may be a mistake there from Jack Holder. He had the inside covered, and now he's missing out to Bartosz Zmarzlik, who is forcing his way through. Front wheel across the curb, of course he can do that, and he's not going to be finished there. He's going to hunt down Max Frick out front. Again, he's using that inside line, making the bike work well, but Max Frick carrying just a little bit more speed.
Here we go. 1 lap to go. Smarslik working so very hard. He's pushing hard. Frick had to slam the door shut. Got the better of Jack Holder. One last corner for the two-time former world champion, and the run to the line. Frick hangs on. Massive result for Australia. 6 points for them. And Dudek this time missing out. That's a shock. This race really is so tight. And all of a sudden, we got the top two in Finland and Australia. Australia, who started quite slowly, and all of a sudden they forced their way into second place. Poland dropping points there, only scoring 3 on 26. Wow, semi-final number 1, the result then of heat 16. Brilliant race. Max Frick out in front, just about hanging on. Jack Holder back in third. Bartosz Smarslik, wow, what a ride from him to come through into second place. And Patrick Dudek out the back. I'm a bit breathless because I'm going to have a bit of a lie down, but that was proper Speedway there.
Yeah, just leave the replays to me. You just have a rest,
It's your job, mate. It's your job.
There's some water there. Just take a little drink. And we can see there once again, Smarslik impatient, a little bit of movement, but he doesn't make the start. Referee quite rightly letting it go. And it was quite a long pause, but the Australian pair, elbows out from Smarslik on the way to the corner. Max Frick just electing to go right high and wide around the dirt. Jack Holder having a look for him. At this point, we've missed it, but the first lap, Jack Holder did the right thing, covered the inside. The minute he decided to follow Max Frick and ride on the dirt line, that allowed a little bit of space for Bartosz Smarslik, and he doesn't need a second invitation. Moves straight through and then puts Max Frick under immense pressure. But you've got to say, a good result for Australia there.
Massive result for Australia. We're straight up to tapes, on with the action for heat number 17. Then we've got America up against Ukraine. And you've got on the inside for America, Brock Nickel in the blue helmet colour. Alongside him in gate number 2 in white is Marko Levishin. In gate number 2, Luke Becker, who's riding well tonight, will come out of gate number 3 for the USA in the red helmet colour. And off the outside in yellow is Stanislav Melanchuk for Ukraine. And this is an opportunity for America, you would suggest, to try and make some sort of impact. If they could get a maximum score here, they would actually try and get themselves right on the verge of the top 4. So all is not lost for America, but they are going to need 7 points.
Yeah, they are. They need 7 big points here. Just looking at their last ride, which is against Finland. So they have got an opportunity here.
They have indeed. So I'm sure Steve Evans, the team manager for USA, has pointed that out. So all of a sudden, Brock Nickel back in and away they go. And Nickel's made a good start on the inside, but I've got to say Levishin, the all-action Levishin's there right alongside, and Becker now coming through on the inside. Becker, but Nickel's lifted and Levishin's just dived through, took the opportunity with both hands. Marko Levishin out in front. Luke Becker now coming through into second place. Brock Nickel lifting at a vital time just to kill his momentum, and that's a great shame. But Marko Levishin, you've got to say, is riding out of the top draw tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's looking fast. He's looking all action, that's for sure. And as you say, Brock Nickel just finding a little bit too much traction at the wrong time, killed his momentum and allowed Levishin past. This is not going to be enough for the USA, but Luke Becker really giving chase, looking at the dirt line, looking at the inside, just can't find that little bit of extra speed he needs.
Marko Levishin out in front now, but he's under huge pressure from Becker. Becker up the inside, fantastic move from Luke Becker. How on earth did he do that? Where did he find the grip from? Becker, how? That is a superb ride for him. And maybe that gives the USA a bit of a lifeline. 6 points for them, 3 for Ukraine, and all of a sudden it was looking like 5 points to USA and possibly the opportunity of heat 22 and the race off for the final. Slipping away, but 6 points. I've got to say, still an outside chance, Chris.
Yeah, there is an outside chance. 6 points, 6 big points. Could have done with 7, but being a bit greedy. But as I say, they race Finland. That's going to be a big race.
It will indeed. So the result for heat 17, then Luke Becker riding well, very well, to win the race. Brock Nickel back in third place. 6 points for USA, 3 points for Ukraine, with Marko Levishin just being overtaken. Up the inside, it was a fabulous move there. And so the standings after 17 races, Finland out in front on 29, 28 for Australia, 26 for Poland, Germany on 23, USA 21, Ukraine on 14, and Latvia on 12. So it's all really tight there between the top 5 teams. Superb ride there. Shame for Brock Nickel just lifting at a vital moment, but that was a great effort from Luke Becker.
Yeah, a fantastic effort from Luke Becker. The first lap is all about Brock Nickel And we can see Levichin in there in white. Just makes the cut back up the inside. Now at that point it looks like Brotnickel could have pulled clear and got a good run, but he just allows the bike to lift, loses that forward momentum. At this point, Luke Becker really not in the race up front, but battles away all race long. Had a look on the outside, wasn't particularly working for him. And then he starts to use his throttle control. He's got a lot of throttle control, that young man. You know, he's learnt a lot of his trade at Wolverhampton, a track that you do need to use the throttle. And that's taught him a great deal. And we can see there, just forces his way through the
Lovely
inside.
move there, wasn't it?
Yeah, great move. And great throttle control. And we can see there Marco Levichin. A little bit upset with himself there, but he's had a great night so far.
Yeah, he shouldn't be too hard on himself, because there's no doubt that he was passed by a more experienced rider there, but nonetheless he's kept us well and truly entertained, Marco Levichin. But USA have certainly battled very hard indeed, and will be interesting to see how they get on with Finland. But let's get some more reaction now. Abby's down in the pits.
I am with, as you say, the exuberant rider, Timmy Sullivan. Timmy, you have been in some all-action racing. What's it been like out there?
It's been an amazing day for me. You know, my third time in Speedway Nation. My first times was 0 points, but now I'm beating Janovsk, I'm beating GB riders, so this is amazing.
And at this stage of the meeting as well, to be leading on points, it's fair to say that it's possibly been a surprise to see Finland up there.
Yeah, and it's a very big surprise for me as well, and now everything is going well, and I hope the last heat will be awesome.
How are you and Timo and Lati sharing thoughts on the track, thoughts on your team riding?
Yeah, we don't just, you know, both have a good days. I have a good start. Now it's Timo getting very good. So we just decided which one to get, and let's go.
Well, you've been so exciting to watch. Continue it. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's having a great night, and Finland are as well. And with one ride to go, they have every chance of making the top two here this evening. They are out against the USA, I believe, in their last ride. So they've got a good chance there, and they're on 29 points. And they've been rock solid. They've had no worse than 5 points from a race so far this evening, and that just demonstrates what Speedway of Nations is all about. You know, if you can not have a last place, then you're going to give yourself a very good chance of qualification. It is a surprise to see Finland at the top of the table. Australia and Poland not finding it plain sailing, and particularly Poland in that last outing, dropping points there, only 3 points from their last outing, Chris. And you've got to say that Poland all of a sudden have got to find something a bit special in their last ride.
Yeah, they've put themselves under what I would say unnecessary pressure, but they're under that pressure, and they've got to perform in their last one.
They've got the Ukraine.
It's the Ukraine, so you know they're obviously in a very good position to be able to score big points. But you only need a bike issue or a silly mistake from a rider, and all of a sudden you're not going to get those 7 points that you may need.
Well, that will put them on 33, but even that might not be enough. If the other riders, the other two teams, Australia and Finland, come up with maximum scores as well, that would see Poland actually go through to the Heat 22, which they won't want, but they're going to have to if they don't quite produce it against Ukraine. Mark Lemon there on screen, just studying the programme, and Australia have responded nicely in their last 4 outings. They started slowly, and they've swapped and changed their riders quite regularly tonight, but 6 points last time out was very valuable indeed, and the 28 points they have now.
And they meet Latvia in their last one as well, so you know, strong possibility that they'll score strongly there.
Yeah, so you know, there's pressure on Poland to do the business. They cannot be complacent, but it still might not be enough. We are hearing that Janowski will not ride in their final outing for Poland, and it will be Dudek replacing him, which is not a surprise. Dudek actually has, apart from his last ride, has ridden pretty strongly, but Janowski just looks a little bit off the pace, Chris, you know, possibly suffering with lack of confidence. His Grand Prix performances haven't been quite what we've expected recently.
No, I think Rafał Dubrucki, the Polish manager, has made all the right moves tonight. He brought Patrick Dudek in early enough to see how he's going and to now capitalising on his speed that he saw. But Patrick struggled last time out, so no clear decisions for Rafał and this Polish team tonight.
No, not easy. So the line-up then, it will be Latvia here coming out, and they will race against Germany. And there's no doubt that Germany have got a fine opportunity here to put pressure on other teams. They are on 23 points. So if they can gain 7 here, well, who knows? They're almost guaranteed of going through to the Heat 22, the last chance to qualify, and they've done nicely. Just faded a wee bit with Hülkenberg starting so well, but on the inside for Latvia in the red helmet colour here, we've got Francis Gusts. On gate number 3 for Latvia in blue will be Kostikovs. Gate number 2 is Kai Hülkenberg in white for Germany. On gate number 4 in yellow will be Norik Bladorn. I'm not convinced it's Gus actually on the inside. I think it might be the number 3 rider, but we'll have to say it might be Mihalios actually coming out here in red. Can't quite see the number on his back.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It is Mihalios, so they've changed from Gus to Mihalios, so he will be on the inside in red for Latvia this time. So, but nonetheless, this is an important race for Germany, Chris.
Yeah, it is, and Kai Hülkenberg started off with three race wins, and in his last 2 he hasn't beaten an opposing rider, so got to step it back up again here.
He has indeed, but if he can recapture the starts he had in his first 3 outings, then gate number 2 could prove it to be a winning position for him, and he has made a terrific start over Mihalios. Bladorn's chopping back to the inside. Fantastic comeback from gate number 4, and Germany fire themselves into the first 2 positions. It's exactly what they needed. Terrific stuff from them. Mihalios in 3rd place, but all of a sudden normal service resumed for the German riders, in particular Hülkenberg. That's much more like it, and a stunning first corner from Bladorn.
Yeah, how interesting is this result going to make it? Would move Germany on to 30 points, and it's getting awfully tight at the top.
It is indeed awfully tight in the top. Pressure on the other teams now. Great way to finish off the night, barring any mechanical issues now, with just over a lap to go. Hülkenberg out in front, but Bladorn riding beyond his years in that first turn. Terrific ride there, but half a mistake there. But he's got a bit of breathing space, so he got away with it. Through the last turn, Hülkenberg out in front, comfortable. Bladorn riding nicely in 2nd place. Massive 7 points for Germany. Great effort from them. They finish on 30 points. They will momentarily go to the top of the table here this evening as a result of that race. Terrific effort. Latvia just picking up 2 points there. We won't see them again tonight. Their job is done. And as hard as they tried, just a little outclassed here this evening. But Germany have come here and they've done a fine job. Heats 18, then the result. Kai Hülkenberg out in front, Bladorn coming through in 2nd place. Mihalios there finishing 3rd, and Kostikovs missing out. A 7-2. What a way to round their night off at this stage. Possibly we'll have one more race. They will have to wait and see. We'll see the replay of this first turn again, though.
Yeah, as you said, normal service resumed for Kai Hülkenberg, but what a first turn there from the rider in yellow, Norik Bladorn. Timed his cut back perfectly, realised that from the outside gate he hadn't made a clear run, and has the presence of mind to cut back up the inside there. And great ride from him, as you say, beyond his years. He's learning his experience at the moment. I think racing in the UK for Bellevue really paying dividends for him.
It is indeed. So we're on with the action thick and fast once again, and riders are coming out to tapes, and we've got Poland up against Ukraine here, and it will be Bartosz Szmarslik for Poland. He will go from the inside for Poland here. Great shots of the German pair there. Terrific stuff from them. Kai Hülkenberg certainly riding very nicely indeed. There's the standings. You can have a brief look at those quickly before we see this very important race for Poland. 30 points. They complete their 6 races so far. Wouldn't be a surprise to see. So there's a lineup for heat number 19. Szmarslik and Dudek for Poland, with Levashin and Lisak for Ukraine. They will actually go with Bartosz Szmarslik in red off the inside gate. And then And gate number 2 will be Marko Levichin in white, and then Patrick Dudek for Poland in blue coming out of gate number 3, and off the outside in yellow will be Melanchuk. So we will see. This has got to be a 7-point haul here for Poland, really. They really need it. Green lights on, tapes are up, and away we go. Look at Levichin go out of gate number 2. Fantastic start from him. He fires himself to the first corner. Look at the lead he's got already over the World Championship leader, a former 2-time World Champion. Fantastic stuff from Levichin. He is riding out of his skin tonight.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. What a start. A big mistake from Patrick Dudek in 3rd place. Hanging on to that 3rd place. Now we can see Bartosz Marslik really giving it everything on Levichin there. It's absolutely cracking stuff. Now he's moving up the inside. He's really putting him under a lot of pressure. This is quite a result for the young man, but again, it's Poland with the heat advantage, even at this stage. But I tell you what, Bartosz Marslik is throwing everything he's got at him.
He is indeed. We're into the last lap. Levichin sharp away from the tapes and has ridden superbly well out in front. Last long chance for here for Smarslik. Roars into the bottom corner, around the outside, but he's not going to do it. Levichin picks up the win. It's only 5 points for Poland. Wow, what a result that is. They move on to 31. They top the charts, but they could be overhauled by Finland and Australia with another ride to come. That's a shock performance there. Levichin turning the tables on the odds there, big time.
Yeah, and Bartosz Marslik showing respect after the race for him. It was a cracking ride from him.
Wow, superb stuff. And the result goes Poland's way, but they were looking for more. 5 points for them for 2nd and 3rd with Smarslik and Dudek. Marko Levichin, well, he has arrived on the international stage. What a ride for him. Sharp away from the tapes, and he kept it all together throughout the 4 laps.
Yeah, what a cracking start from Levichin off gate 2 there. Just hits the front, goes down low, runs across the corner a little bit, but Bartosz Marslik must have wondered where he'd come from. I mean, Bartosz is no slouch off the start, but I've got to say Levichin meant business in that one, showing us his all-action style again, hanging off the bike out front, and had plenty of speed. You know, you've got to say that Bartosz Marslik was not sitting back, not just taking the 5 points. See the mistake from Dudek there, gets it under control quick. It's not the first time we've seen it in the middle of turns 1 and 2, but Bartosz Marslik spent the entire 4 laps throwing absolutely every single thing that he had at Levichin, and he didn't have an answer for it.
No, and Levichin showed great composure out in front when you've got a rider like Smarslik hunting you down. Fantastic effort from him. So we're up at tapes again here with Finland and America, and this is another massive race for Finland. Finland are doing so very well tonight. They're on 29 points and they could top the charts. A great opportunity for them to go straight through to the final on Saturday night. We see Poland there on 31, but that's about to change, you feel. Germany have also finished their qualifying races. So on the inside in red will be Timo Lahti for Finland. Then alongside him in white is Luke Becker. Timi Salonen will come out at gate number 3 in blue. And then on the outside, looks like it could well be, is it Dylan Rummel? Yes, I think it is. Another outing for Rummel this time. So, got to be believing that Finland will be looking for another heat advantage now. What a great opportunity. Here we go then. Oh, what a long pause that was. Becker's made a fabulous start out of gate number 2, fires himself to the front. Lahti there right alongside him. Salonen coming through into 3rd place with Dylan Rummel at the back at this stage. Becker riding well, really well out in front. Rode superbly in his last ride to come through up the inside to fire himself to the front. Will 5 points be enough? It might be, we'll see.
34.
It will indeed. It'll still be a good total for Finland. But Luke Becker's out in front here, Chris, and he is riding really well for the USA.
Yeah, he is. He's a very accomplished rider. His small stature and his riding style does remind me a little bit of Ronnie Corey, actually, who was another Wolverhampton man. But no, he's quick when he's out front. He's got good throttle control. He can make the bike work very, very well in the slick conditions. And the track now has slickened off quite a bit. But another great result for Finland, 34 points. Great chance of going straight through here.
Superb stuff from there. Luke Becker sharp away from the start, but it's team riding and point scoring that it's all about. He wins, but 5 points for Finland with Timo Lahti and Timi Salonen And they're through.
They are through.
And that's a fantastic effort for Finland. It's a shock, but it's a pleasant one for them. They will be overjoyed to make the Speedway of Nations final on Saturday night. Beating some big nations here. What a great effort in semi-final number 1 from Finland. Congratulations to them. So the result of heat number 20 then. Timo Lahti and Timi Salonen finishing 2nd and 3rd. 5 points, crucial 5 points for them that sees them through. Luke Becker riding extremely well out in front, but Rummel there back in 4th place. And the USA won't be making it here this evening. But Finland, Chris, what can you say about them? That is an outstanding effort.
It's an outstanding effort, and it's come from a bit of experience and certainly youth there in Timi Salonen, who's opening a lot of eyes on this world stage. And we can see from the start, it wasn't a particularly good start for Timi Salonen. He just didn't seem to coordinate himself with the bike very well, and finds himself in 3rd place. I've got to say, Dylan, Rummel there really giving it everything on the first lap. Looked like he might have a run around the outside, but a cracking start from the little American there, Luke Becker. And he's very, very quick when he's out front. He's had a very good night tonight. Just hasn't quite had the backing, but they've thrown everything that they could at it. But Finland, straight through. They'd have taken that at the beginning of tonight.
Oh, they would. They would have snatched a hand off. There's no doubt about that. Fabulous effort for Finland, and congratulations to them. So heat number 21, the last of the qualifiers here. And up at tapes here, we've got Australia against Latvia. And as we see the boys just coming back into the pits, we've got Jack Holder on the inside for Australia in red. And gate number 2 is Francis Gusts there for Latvia in the white helmet colour. We've got Max Fricker coming out of gate number 3 in blue, and off the outside this time we've got Kostakovs in the yellow helmet colour. This is a great opportunity for Australia now. Australia coming into this race on 28 points, and all of a sudden they could turn their night around and see themselves come through into 2nd place here with a nice heat advantage. Really a great opportunity for Australia.
Yeah, they've got to take that heat advantage. They'll be looking for that. And Max Frick has shown plenty of speed. Obviously given Jack Holder the inside gate in this one.
Absolutely, yeah. So 7 points will see them actually go top of the charts, and that would be a great effort from Australia, but work to be done. Here we go then, heat 21, and away we go. Holder and Frick have got away nicely. That's superb. They really have done the hard yards on the run to the first corner. Frick hits the front. Holder's there right alongside him. Kostakov's coming through into 3rd place, but Australia, it's all about them. They just got to hold it together now for the next 3 laps. Frick has ridden well tonight, really well, and Holder coming in right from the get-go this evening. They're under a little bit of pressure, but in truth, they are controlling the race out in front, and this is a massive 7 points for them. They move on to 35, and that will almost see them through to the final.
Yeah, will do, and Kostakovs, he's just hanging in there. He's keeping them honest, but if they can just ride together, I can't see any way through for him.
No, he's keeping them up to their work, that's for sure. Kostakov's coming on strong. His bike's working nicely in the slick conditions. I just sense that Frick is spinning up a bit, just losing a bit of speed. He's working hard on the outside. They've got a bit of breathing space now as they come through the final corner on the final lap. Jack Holder and Max Frick doing the business for Australia. 7 points for them. And that will see them through to the final. And I'll tell you what, and Australia were one of the pre-meeting favourites, there's no question about that, but they've had to work harder than they probably thought they were going to have to. So it's Finland and Australia that will go straight through. Here's the result of heat 21. Australia 1st and 2nd, 7 points for them with Frick and Holder. Kostakov's riding well in 3rd place, actually just picks up 3rd place and 2 points. But for Jack Holder and Max Frick, the job is done. And they are clearly very delighted with that.
I've got to say, at the halfway stage, Australia didn't look favourites as a team to automatically qualify, let alone top the charts.
No, and all of a sudden Poland, who were the pre-meeting favourites, and in a lot of people's eyes, the pre-meeting, pre-tournament favourites for the title. So they finish on 31 points, and they will have the race off in heat 22 with Germany, who are on 30, so a big shootout there. But Australia and Finland are through. USA, Ukraine and Latvia, they will miss out this time. But what a massive race we've got to come to complete the evening. Don't go anywhere. Well, it's been a great night of Speedway, and if this is anything to know what we're going to see this week, Chris, it's going to be a fabulous week of Speedway, and there's been some shocks already.
There has. Everybody's favourites, I think, were Poland and Australia to go automatically through. Australia have, I think it's fair to say, struggled their way to the top of the pile, but Finland and Germany have just mixed it fantastically.
We see Heat 21 again. They were really sharp away from the tapes on gates 1 and 3, Chris, and in truth, they did all the hard work on that run to the first corner.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's you know, they beat the Latvians, have a little bit of contact there with Jack Holder from the inside gate, but once they got the noses in front, they looked reasonably comfortable. I think you were right when you said that Max Frick looked like maybe he was getting a little bit too much wheel spin, putting the pressure on Jack Holder to just keep an eye on him. You can see the Australians there, both looking for each other. It's a team event, this. You've got to ride together. And to be honest, you know, they had to do that because Kostakos was certainly keeping them honest for most of the 4 laps.
Yeah, Kostakov's actually coming in later on in the evening. Actually rode very well there. You just wonder whether possibly they could have used him a touch earlier, but nonetheless, they've done the very best they could, and they finish on 16 points. But Australia on 35. I've gone through with Finland. Finland, the real shock tonight, on 34. They've ridden superbly well. They haven't had a last place, and that has been absolutely key. They've been rock solid and consistent throughout. The worst they've been is 2nd and 3rd, and that's what Speedway of Nations, Speedway with this point-scoring system of 4-3-2-0 is all about, and they have proved it conclusively there tonight. Australia, who started slowly and swapped and changed their team on a couple of occasions at the very least, and they've topped the charts on 35. So a big shootout to come now between Poland and Germany.
Pressure ride for Poland, and Rafael Dubrucki, what does he do? Because Patrick Dudek, although he came in and rode fantastically well in his opening ride of the night, which was halfway through the meeting, hasn't really pulled up trees since.
No, who would be a team manager, but this is what they've got to earn their money for, that's for sure. Let's reflect on what we've seen so far this evening. It's been sparkling stuff. So terrific action so far, with one big race to come to see who's going to join Finland and Australia in the final on Saturday. Surprised to see Poland in there, but here we see the scores on the night. Got to say, Luke Becker has done a fine job there on 19 points, 18 for Huckenbeck. Arte, no surprise to see him. Levershin, now that is a surprise. He's done a great job with 18 points from 6 rides. Max Frick on 15, Schmarslik on 15. But nonetheless, there's been some big performances from riders who you wouldn't have expected here this evening.
No, Levershin and Salonen really showing what the future's all about.
So now we can have the gate choices now for Heat 22 with the race director, Phil Morris.
Okay, I welcome the 3rd place team, Poland, with Rafael Dubrucki, and please select your starting colours for the race-off.
Bartosz Marslik red. Patrick Dudek blue.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
So Dudek and Schmarslik for Poland. On gates 1 and 3.
And the 4th place team, Germany, Pepe Rudolph, please select your colours and your riders, please.
White for Kai and yellow for Norik Bludon.
Thank you, good luck.
So Kai Huckenbeck will go off gate number 2 in white, and Bludon will go off the outside in yellow. And possibly a touch.
Thank you, guys.
touch of an advantage there for Poland, but on the evidence of tonight, they have slipped up on occasion, and Germany have gone well. And as I say, this is not a foregone conclusion. On paper, possibly, you would say Poland are the favourites, but tonight it's been a bit of a leveller. Poland haven't been at their best, and there's no doubt that Hülkenberg and Bledorn have done a fine job for their country.
They have rode very well, and I've got to say, if Hülkenberg can get across Marslik on the inside, allowing Bledorn a free run at Dudek, then it's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, we saw Levichin, though, with the colours of Poland. They're riding superbly well out in front. The track's gone slick. It's not easy to overtake. Smarslik, arguably the best rider in the world, wasn't able to get the better of Levichin. And it's going to be a very interesting race. We can get some more reaction now with Abby down in the pits. She's got Rafael Debrücke with her now.
Yes, I am just waiting. He knows we are having an interview, but he's speaking to his riders at the moment. Some big decisions, obviously huge pressure on your hands. Thank you for speaking to us, because we know in the heat of the moment. First of all, talk about the riders that you've chosen tonight.
Well, we had some trouble in the middle of the meeting, but I hope this is behind us.
A bit of a surprise to see Poland in this position. What were you just saying to the boys then?
This is Speedway. This is Speedway. Everything can happen.
You just told them to go out and do their best?
Everything should be okay.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Well, it's a position I suspect he wasn't really expecting to be in truth, but nonetheless, it's they've got to come to terms with it. He's got two world-class riders representing Poland here in Smarslik and Dudek, and you've got to believe that when the chips are down, they've got to come through. But on the evidence of tonight, anything is possible, and Germany, a lesser nation in World Championship Speedway, have put themselves in a strong position with everything to race for.
Yeah, they haven't got any pressure. They're definitely the underdogs in this race. I rode for a couple of years in Piwa with Rafael Debrücke when he was racing, and he's a very positive guy, so I know that he will have only been putting positive vibes on his riders coming into this race.
So the last chance qualifier, tension rises. Pressure on both teams, of course, but more on Poland because they were expected to qualify in the first two. They haven't achieved that this evening. They've got to do it the hard way by going through Heat 22. Germany have done themselves proud, and they'll be bitterly disappointed if they don't miss out. Smarslik and Dudek for Poland, Hülkenberg and Bledorn for Germany. It's a shootout here over 4 laps to see who's going to join Finland and Australia and Denmark, of course, who are seeded through to the final. So we'll have 4 qualifiers for Saturday night's grand final, the World Championship on the line. Who's it going to be, Chris? Who do you fancy? Do you think it's going to be Poland? Will they come up trumps here off gates 1 and 3?
You've got to say the experience of Poland at this level should shine through here, but as I said, as underdogs in the starts, certainly early on in the meeting that Kai Hülkenberg was making, if he can produce another one of those, he's got a tiger beside him in Norik Bledorn, so you know, anything could happen here. I've got to say, Poland, I think, have the favoured gates. They have the experience at this level, so you've got to say they start as favourites.
No surprise to see Norik Bledorn's heart rate right up at 186. The youngster's quite clearly feeling the nerves here, but he hasn't shown it on track. He's ridden really nicely this evening. So
there's no surprise to see Dudek's got the lowest as well.
No, it's pretty laid-back character. Yeah, Smarslik on the inside in red for Poland. Alongside him is Kai Hülkenberg in white. Gate number 2 for Germany. Gate number 3 in the blue helmet colour is Dudek for Poland. And on the outside, the youngster, the under-21 rider. What a moment for him. Can he make the Speedway of Nations final in the yellow helmet colour? Massive moment for him, but it's a massive moment for both teams. What a shock if Poland were to miss out on the Speedway of Nations. It hasn't been their championship. They haven't won it since its inception in 2018. Can they do the business now? Heat 22. Away they go. Smarslik's made a smashing start on the inside, but Hülkenberg's there. Smarslik's made a couple of mistakes. Dudek chops to the inside, and Poland hit the front. Hülkenberg now charges around the outside in turns 3 and 4. Dudek having to slam the job. Here comes Hülkenberg through into second place. Superb effort. It's still enough Dudek responds. That's a terrific effort from Dudek.
Yeah, Dudek knows he can't allow Kai Hülkenberg to get through because he's going to come under fire from Loic Bludorn, who's just tailing off at the back. But got to say, Kai Hülkenberg putting all the pressure on Dudek, who seems to have settled down now, getting alongside Smarzlik at the front. That's going to help him.
It is indeed. Just over a lap to go to see Poland through, but they're not really convincing. Hülkenberg is still there. Not gelling completely here. Now Smarzlik running wide, struggling for grip. Dudek having to wait for him as they go into the last corner for the final time. They should see it through now. 7 points for Poland, and they join Australia and Finland in the final. They've had to do it the hard way, Chris, but crikey, when the chips were down, they came up trumps.
Yeah, they did a little shake of the head from Dudek as he went over the start-finish line at the finish there, just pretty much saying, look, it shouldn't have been that hard.
No, it shouldn't be. You've got to feel for Germany.
Yeah, you have.
Germany have done so well this evening, Chris. They really have, and they deserved, in truth, to qualify, but there are winners and losers in this, and international speedway can be awfully tough. Yeah, Poland go through, but Germany have still done themselves proud.
Yeah, they have, and they came up against an inspired Finland who were absolutely fantastic tonight. You would have said on any other night Germany would have gone through on the performance that they've put in tonight, but Finland was superb.
They were indeed. So many congratulations to the 3 qualifying teams of Australia, Finland and Poland, joining Denmark, of course, who are the host nation, who are seeded to the final on Saturday. Great night of Speedway. I tell you what, we've kicked off in fine style here in the Speedway of Nations semi-final #1, and Heat 22, we'll see it again.
Yeah, smashing start from the inside there. The man with all the experience in these pressure races, as you say, did struggle in the first turn, just ran across the corner, just picking up a little bit of unwanted extra traction, and Dudek having to work very hard to keep Kai Hülkenberg behind him for all 4 laps, but the poles working very, very well together, just looking out for each other every time Smarzlik ran wide. Dudek was there to plug the gap, and they did a perfect team riding job.
But tight there, didn't it?
Yeah, it was tight there, and Hülkenberg actually gets his nose in front of Dudek, working overtime, but I could just see by the Dudek shake of the head as he came over the finish line that he felt that they made very hard work of that.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for Poland, but it was a workmanlike performance in the end for Poland that sees them through with a big display in Heat 22. Fine effort from Hülkenberg. He's a class act, and he certainly did his country proud. They'll be disappointed to miss out in Heat 22. Any team would be who just fails to qualify. Getting that close, you can touch the final. There's the trophy. That's what they're all racing for, of course, on Saturday night. Smashing semi-final #1, and we'll be looking forward to semi-final #2 tomorrow night, where we see the world champions, of course, Great Britain, come to the tapes for their qualifying meeting. But Finland have been the shark, and they've done superbly well. And so Australia, Finland and Poland coming through. Britain, of course, the world champions. Sweden with Freddie Lindgren back. Norway coming in to replace Slovakia, who just have run out of riders, and Czech Republic also. Speedway of Nations 2 on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a brilliant night of Speedway. And the 4 qualifiers there already for the Speedway of Nations final on Saturday in Australia, Finland, Poland, and, of course, Denmark. So a relieved Polish team, I've got to believe.
Very much so, yeah. And can see there the Australians, they went about their business very quietly tonight. They weren't spectacular in any way and ended up topping the charts. So Mark Lemon switching things around all the way through the meeting, came up trumps.
So here we see the award ceremony and the rostrum for the top 3 tonight.
And ready for the final Saturday, we have the team from Poland.
So Poland coming forward now. As I said, it was a tough night of Speedway for them. They weren't quite as convincing. They weren't quite as convincing on the steps up there either for Smarzlik. I think that kind of sums up their night. But the 3 riders have come through in the end in Heat 22. And I think this will be a meeting that they'll just want to forget about. They know they're through. It hasn't been ideal, and they just need to now refocus on Saturday night, because there's no question that they're still a very classy outfit.
Yeah, they didn't get it absolutely right. I think they're going to have to learn from tonight. I don't think they can afford to forget about it completely.
And what a night for Finland.
Great stuff.
Brilliant moment for them. Qualifying by right. Finishing second on the evening. brilliant effort from their riders. Timo Lahti, Timmy Salonen, obviously the number 3 rider.
Yeah, Jesse Mustonen didn't get a ride,
but he
never was going
Timmy
to.
Salonen was just riding too well. But the winners on the night, it was actually a little bit of a surprise. They did quietly go about their business and they chopped and changed. But Australia topped the tables here tonight, winning the evening and semi-final number 1. So for Jason Doyle, Max Frick and Jack Holder and Mark Lemon, a great result for them.
And now,
they are the top 3 on the evening.
Place for Saturday's final, we have 3 fans.
So here we see the fans representative coming forward to give them the ticket that they have earned this evening for the final. So Poland get theirs first. And, a nice touch for fans to come forward and have their opportunity.
For Finland, the big ticket for the grand
so second place and their ticket for the final. And their team to go through. Terrific effort once again. That has been a surprise, but a pleasant one. A brilliant result for them. One of the highlights in their Speedway history, I would suggest. And the final ticket goes to the Australians, who have done a good job tonight, and they've been rock solid throughout. Not always totally convincing, but pretty solid throughout the evening. And they've won semi-final number 1 and are safely through to the final. So yeah, it's been a great night at Speedway. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It really has been sparkling action from start to finish. We are semi-final number 1 is done and dusted. We are very much looking forward to tomorrow night, where we'll see semi-final number 2. Chris, it's been a smashing night.
It's been a smashing night. The form book didn't exactly go out of the window, but it was certainly massaged a little bit tonight, and Finland doing a fantastic job.
Okay, brilliant stuff, Fayor. So yeah, delighted. We will see you tomorrow evening for semi-final number 2 in the Speedway of Nations.